Our heroes have made it back to the Phoenix. They've gotten comfortable. They're trying to think of how to come up with a plan about this individual named Gren Alpin. I'm not going to do too much of an intro here. I'm just going to let you guys take it away.
So, are we really thinking about doing this, me and Yeska head into the prison and try and locate this individual, and you two break us out? Are we still thinking that is the best option here?
I never said that was the best option. That was all you.
I mean, it's Yeska's plan, not mine.
And it's a good plan. However, I am always open to more outside suggestions.
I agree. I would much rather not be arrested by the Empire, personally, but if that's the only thing we can come up with, then...
It's your sense of fun, adventure.
A fun and adventure is not... My idea of that is not getting put into an Imperial prison.
Right, and you guys go into this prison, unarmed, unarmored, and you're supposed to be our backup when we break you out. How the fuck is that going to work?
You bring in our weapons, and also, let's be honest here, me and Yeska are technically never unarmed. Well, I didn't necessarily mean like what he's doing. I meant my mind, but sure, his interpretation.
Brilliant.
Strapping physique.
I feel so much more confident now that you have flexed your muscles.
I
This
have 100%
seems
confidence
like,
in this.
yeah. 0%
Okay.
chance of failure here.
I have a
I'm
feeling
sorry.
we've already locked in our episode title for the evening. Yes, Flexin.
Yep. Oh my god, yes.
Yep.
It's like retroflexing, but different.
I mean, the one asset that we don't have that would be great in something like this would be having like that White Scar Syndicate on our side. If we had people on the inside who could smuggle your weapons in with you, or pay off guards, right?
Well, there's also the thing that I don't think we should bring our lightsabers with us. That just seems stupid. But
Seems like a good way
definitely
to
some
lose
blast.
the lightsaber.
Exactly. Definitely trying to smuggle in like a blaster or something would help, but
Also,
we would have to get in contact with this group first.
sure, you two get arrested and potentially find the person we're looking for. How the fuck are you going to communicate that to us, and where exactly on the map we're going to find you? You're not going to have your comm devices. They're going to confiscate that.
I have idea. First, we make contact with this crime organization.
Alright.
We make deal with them. As we help them, they help us. They can find a way to get us into this prison with maybe a weapon, definitely comm system. That way, when we find and locate the person, this Gren, then you know where we are and can help bust us out of there.
Foolproof plan.
And if they can't promise you these things, what then?
Wait,
There's-
try to
there-
think of different plan.
There is another way that we could get a comm link in.
Up the
Yeska,
butt?
you could eat one, and then the next
That's
day
enough.
retrieve it.
I could
I said
what?
up the butt.
Sorry?
If you go up the other way, you get it out much faster. I'm just saying.
I
Look,
have gloves that you can borrow. They're in my med pack.
Are you volunteering to put that up there for him?
He's the
feel like
doctor. He
you're-
just said he had
No.
gloves.
I feel like you're volunteering me. I
he
did not
volunteered.
volunteer myself for this.
What it takes to win a
volunteered.
war.
There's lots of different peoples in the universe. That's just not something that my culture jives with, say. Is that the right word? I take out my translator. Goes yes, jive.
Close
Yes.
enough.
We
yeah.
don't
Word
jive
common,
with
yeah.
that.
Fair.
Gotcha.
You're
Well,
very quick to offer up my
Well,
my person.
oh god.
MG, do me a favor, and your next roll, you get to add a blue boost die to.
Yes!
You can take my next blue die for that, man.
It's weird that you have those. Interesting.
Especially that close to my computer desk.
Sir.
Your personal private business is just that.
Wow. Alright, so how do we get in contact
So.
with this group that's going to help smuggle you guys in with shit to help you out?
I mean, it seemed like, Doctor, didn't you make a few friends? Was that you or was that Yeska? I can't remember.
I think that was me.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeska did
didn't
better
you?
than I did.
Disco made friends with
The-
an individual named Pato.
Yeah.
Well,
He told
the
us
only
where to find
way
Flint's Cafe.
the only way that I'll agree to this prison break scheme that you have an idea for, the only way I'll agree to it is if we can confirm that the comms won't be compromised.
Hmm.
Because if you two go in and you're blind and we're blind, how the fuck are we going to find you?
We could just.
you're
Finding us
just
could be the
stuck.
difficult part.
That's
yes.
that's my point. We need to be smart about this. If this is really the way you want to go about it, we need to make sure our bases are covered before we agree to anything. That's the only way I will agree to this.
That's why a group like this will know all the secrets to that kind of thing, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest. I typically just wing things and it works out for me. So.
Right, and I don't, so let's not.
Sure. Well, I will follow your lead then.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That swoop.
Try and get in contact with the crime people. Raven and Doctor, I need you to stay thinking about one, possible extraction plans, and two, other infiltration plans.
It'd be nice if we could get a blueprint if that's something that's possible.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The more the more information we have, the better off we are. We can't just go running in willy-nilly. We need to collect information and plan this accordingly. Otherwise, we are going to be up a creek without a paddle, so to speak.
How about this? Tizo and I will go and talk to the young street people,
All right.
and you see if you can find public records building and find maybe some blueprints.
I expect to find some blueprints, but I highly doubt that there's going to be public records on the actual prison layout. Maybe on the outskirts of the of the building in the public areas, but I highly doubt they're going to have public records of it. I will look, but don't expect much.
Public records can tell you who the business was contracted out to.
All right.
Then you can find the information there.
All right. I'll see what I can do. No promises.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Everyone, good, be safe. And may the force be with you.
Don't get shot.
Ditto.
I will try my best.
Your comment's getting really good.
I have been practicing how you three, when you say sleep, I only need maybe 1-2 hours a night.
Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do lots of exercise when you sleep. I practice my my basic. I practice lightsaber. You know, there's lots of
doing
things
well,
to
yes,
practice
sir.
when you have. What is the standard time when you have 27 hours in the day? You only sleep 2 hours. That's 29 hours standard.
I'm not sure that's how the math works, but sure, I get the gist of what you're saying, yes.
We're on board with the feeling.
I'm starting to learn Yeska, and it's making me feel weird. I'm starting to understand his language. It's really weird.
So, as your GM, I'm seeing that Tizo, the plan is Tizo and Yeska are going to go try to find the street gangs to communicate with them. And Raven and Dran are going to focus on trying to find records or information about the prison.
Yep.
You guys would both know probably that you wouldn't have to really go anywhere to do that. You could probably use the computers aboard the ship.
All right.
Even better.
Google it. We're gonna Google it.
Yeah, you're gonna Google it. Yeah, that's basically it. You could work with the now. Raven is right to some extent. You don't think there's going to be a very open public record about the inside of the prison or a layout of anything, but that's not to mention that one does not exist and it can possibly be hacked into. So that would be something that you guys would know and would be a possibility.
All right.
So how are the two of you getting to that street corner again? You guys had a land speeder. You guys took the land speeder last time. You guys going to take the land speeder out again?
I think we are, right? I mean, I think it's the fastest way to get around.
Okay.
Don't bump it up. If I find a scratch,
Yes, it's going to be driving.
It's
I don't care
fine.
who's driving. You're both in the car. Make sure you pay attention to both sides of the road.
Which
But I
side
have no
of the
control over
road?
the who's. How is that my?
Which side of the
Okay.
road do I drive on? Is it this side or this side?
Oh dear.
I'm
Teaser,
just on the
Different
computer,
planets.
like, hiding.
just keep a lookout for him, please.
Sure.
I don't. Why do I bother? You're not gonna help. I just walk away.
All right, so Yeska, I believe, gets in the driver's seat, and Tizo makes his way to the passenger seat, and you guys, the ramp, the loading ramp, lowers with a big and you guys make your way off of the Phoenix, out
I floor
through. You floor it.
And we just scratch off.
That's
Just-
it.
Like bottom out.
Yeah, the back like sparks off of the steel ground of the platform, the landing platform. You can see blue and orange sparks like flying up.
I'm
from the
taking
back
one
end.
conflict point for this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeska, you're trying to kill us, I think. Is that what you're doing?
You're just
No,
sniped on your way back.
I'm picturing like the scene from Ferris Bueller where the parking attendants borrow the car and you see them like go over the hill.
Launching it off. Yeah, you guys are heading that direction. In the meantime, we will stay here with Dran and Raven for just a moment as they are driving in search of these individuals. What would you guys like to do aboard the... Oh, you're going straight to the computers, Dran?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna help them out.
Okay. Who's going to do... We're going to need to do a computers check here if this is what you guys are trying to do. Who's going to take the computers check and who's going to assist?
I don't have a lot of formal training, but I'm pretty good at systems in general. What about you, Raven?
Not right. This isn't really my forte. I'm more on the mechanical side of
Sure.
engineering.
Then how about I'll take the lead, and if you can
I'll assist. Yeah,
guide me here?
yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so-
assist.
Okay.
What exactly are you trying to find first, Dran? Is there a way, an order you want to go through it, or do you want to just try to find the critical information right away?
I think we want to see, like, follow the idea of what public records exist. You know, when was
Yeah,
it built? Who
Yeah,
built
the
it?
basics.
Yeah. Is there, is there
Is
anything
there
they
any
had
other
to release?
corporations that are involved? Like,
Mm,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go ahead and make. We'll call this a computers check, You will have 2 blue boost dice on this check because of your rubber glove and because of Raven's assistance on this.
Wonderful.
And
What's the
the
difficulty?
difficulty on this one is going to be 2 purple. It's going to be an average check.
Okay. So we're gonna do the ye old computer check here. See what happens.
Nice.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tell you the success, and then you will have 4 advantages, and you can tell me what the advantages of the information will be. So you guys, you're going to help me with the information that you discover.
Okay.
The basis is this prison has been here for a long time. It was built pre-Clone Wars.
Oh, damn.
So it's been here for a while. You do know that it's on the ventral side of the city.
Yeah.
So it's underneath, where basically the city is very damaged. Like that's where most of the
city's on
war,
like a hammock.
Yeah, it's like a hammock. It's built on a bridge, kind of. So the undercity, no one's like legally allowed to go down there because it's so damaged and so beat up that they basically
It's like condemned.
It's condemned. Yeah, they don't use it anymore. The prison is the only part they really use and utilize, and it was built there pre-Clone Wars. But then when the Empire took over, they did some upgrades to the prison, and they made it into more of, you know, their type of build rather than a Neimoidian type build. So they incorporated many of the Empire's prison systems, computer systems, security, surveillance, all those kind of things that the Empire brought. They brought it in and installed it into this prison.
Is that legal?
Is that legal?
I'm
Oh.
Set up.
So
Anyway.
now, Dran, you have 4 advantage. This is a yes and moment for you. What other information do you think would pop up in these searches of the information that you were looking for that would be helpful for you and your party?
And one of those advantages did come from Raven, so Chris, if you think of anything as well.
All right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would suspect that maybe in addition we do pick up on, you know, like in the Clone Wars, which corporation was behind this in the first place and who was involved in the renovations, that maybe that's like a lead where we could track further information on.
To piggyback off of that, which sections were mostly like redone? So like there's going to be sections that are like more heavily reinforced than the others.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would be looking for.
Yeah, you guys do glean that the way it works is the first floor is actually the top floor because it's the ventral, so it goes down, which is kind of confusing because it's imagine an upside down skyscraper.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's going to work. So
Okay.
the first floor, which is the main floor, seems to have the most. It seems like the farther you get down, the less renovations you get.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
it seems to be about an 8 floors of prison, but it's kind of like, imagine a tiered upside down cake. The first floor is the largest by far, and it gets smaller as it drops.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
Hell yeah.
It's carrot cake from her friend's birthday.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be safe to assume if we're doing any explosives, if we need to blast anything, it'd be further down than up.
Oh, and then battle our way up into.
Mm. It'd be less reinforced towards the bottom.
And if there's
Yeah.
anything else you guys can think of, 4 advantages is quite a lot. So if there's another thing that you think would be helpful, you would probably get it as well.
Was there any on the corporations?
It's not much. It's not much about corporations. It was owned by basically the Trade Federation during the Clone Wars, and then when and it's kind of interesting because you guys start to piece together that it temporarily got taken over by the Republic. It was under the Republic's rule for a while, and you can see that on some of the public records, Suljo Warde's name appears. as someone who placed people into the prison.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other names of people that were loyal to the Republic. And then basically once the Republic, Order 66, Jedi were removed, all that kind of stuff happened, all Empire rule. And it was completely taken over.
Is there any like layouts further down that are more condemned that were like pre takeover?
Of the prison?
Yeah.
The prison, all the floors are okay. Like, it's not like they're not condemned. Like, if there was any damage,
okay.
it's been repaired since the war.
Okay.
So the prison is like one of the only structures down there that seems to be in relatively decent shape.
Okay.
I suppose we couldn't like dox like whoever's like in charge right now, like the warden, find out like when their anniversary was, and maybe that's the password to get into stuff. Give ourselves a boost on anything. I don't know. This is real life computer time talking here. You know?
You probably could do something like that. You'd have to make a more difficult computers check.
Oh, okay.
That wouldn't be something that you could earn with just an average check.
Okay, that's not. Yeah.
Okay. So
the only other thing would be, was there anyone out there talking about like, talking about the place as if they had been there, that maybe like we could get vibes of people who have been, that we could track down, like someone on a forum, like, oh yeah, man, I was there for 5 years, it was BS,
Yeah, the Reddit comments.
Yeah.
One thing that you discover about this is there's hardly anything about it out there.
Ooh.
And the vibe that you're getting is once the Empire took over, those prisoners haven't gotten out of there.
Means any criminal organizations probably have tons of assets in there that'd love to get liberated.
True.
Yeah, if we could
Make a content.
a la Avatar Katara stage a prison revolt.
Hey guys, riot!
Take your power back.
And as you guys are kind of thinking and talking back and forth and searching computers, we get to Yeska burning down the street, cruising with Tizo.
Oh,
Window.
my friend.
Yeah.
Rider.
Oh my.
Jessica, I don't think we really need to be going this fast. Could we slow down just a tad bit?
All right, very well.
Thank you.
I slow down to a more moderate speed.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, he was starting to scare you because he was weaving in and out of traffic pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And like not looking at traffic at all, just like.
So you,
And so then.
Sightseeing and
hey,
talking.
what is that?
Oh.
Then I said to him, "You better leave that alone."
Tizo's eyes were closed the whole time he was doing that. Then.
Eventually, you
Oh,
get
I
to
thought
that.
you were reckless.
Eventually, you.
I have no plan.
He's reckless when he's kind of making the decisions. Probably he's not behind the wheel right now. You guys.
And look, I'm a good driver. We are reckless.
Please keep it that way.
Waka waka waka. So you guys make it to that street corner. Unfortunately, right now you don't see the same individuals on that street corner. But as you're cruising around a little bit, you notice going around the block, there seems to be some kind of old abandoned warehouse along the corner of one of the blocks as you turn down the side street. And you recognize Pato standing on the corner talking to another Neimoidian. It looks like they're just having a hushed conversation. It's probably it's late at night now, so it's dark and seems to be a little pale light from some interesting like street lamp-esque looking things that hang around the area as you guys begin to pull up. The window slides down. Pato kind of looks over at the window and, oh, it's you.
How's it going, Pedro?
Not bad. Did you change your mind about some spice?
I look at my friend and I look back at the criminal and I say, definitely.
Great.
Yeah. However, we are needing to speak to someone who is maybe a little more used to handling large orders.
How?
Upper management, if you will.
Do you think you could introduce us?
He looks over at Tizo and then looks at Yeska saying, did you just ask to see my manager?
Hey, Karen.
Nah.
Tizo is the Karen of Star Wars!
Let me just say, time out, to all the Karens, the honest, real, good Karens. I see you.
We love you!
My
The
aunt-in-law
world would be-
is one of you.
Oh,
I'm sorry that your name got co-opted.
We are
It's a good
we
name.
now
We-
this
We
episode
apologize.
goes out as a tribute to all
all the Karens.
the Karens.
F in chat for Karens.
F and
Thanks.
chat, F and chat for Karens.
I'm in.
No,
Uh,
I wasn't asking to see. No, we will of course still buy spice from you. We just also might need something a little bit extra.
Extra. I mean, I could take you to see Lore. He's the leader of us Kreehawks. He might be able to help you out.
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Yeska?
That's wonderful. Come, my friend, introduce us.
Well, come with me. Do you mind leaving your land speeder here parked along the street?
Hey, we are friends. Do you think
We're assuming
someone
it's
could
gonna
watch
be-
it for us?
I was gonna say we're assuming it's gonna be safe here.
Oh, absolutely. He kind of runs his hand down the side of the land speeder and just this is real nice. This doesn't look like it was looks like it came from off-world.
So do I.
But
And me.
He kind of smirks and says, "Look, come here. I'll take you into the warehouse. Lore's inside."
I want to take a very basically a mental picture of the other people that were standing out there.
There was only one other. It was a female Neimoidian,
Okay.
and it looks like she is high as a kite.
Gotcha. Still gonna take a mental picture of just in case our speeder turns up missing.
Okay,
So
you got it. I imagine you guys walk away and Yeska goes, "Bloop, bloop." You guys make your way. The Neimoidian leads you into this warehouse. It seems to have some heavy damage to the outside, and it's dark inside at first, but you make your way through some areas of heavy storage and crates and things that are all around. Eventually, you get to a center part of the building where there's another door, and you can see a glimmer of light coming out of the slightly ajar door. You can hear some conversation on the inside, and he leads you into this inner room, which used to be an office space at some point, but now has kind of been abandoned and just left to whatever. It looks like this gang has kind of made it a miniature hideout of some sorts. And you guys make your way in there, and you can see there is a Neimoidian there wearing an eye patch with very dark, it almost looks like lipstick at first, but just very dark, almost like black lips. And he's kind of sitting in a chair, and there's a couple other of these Neimoidians sitting around, just like one's like flicking some kind of interesting looking playing card between his fingers, and they're just all having a conversation. You can hear some chuckling a little bit at some point. And as you walk in, they all just eye you two. And this one eye that you can see of the Neimoidian sitting in the chair just looks up at you. Who's this? And Pato goes, "Just some of my off-world friends. They need some
Sorry, I cut out for a second.
They need some help with some important matters. I figured you could help them out, Lore." And he looks at the other Neimoidian kind of suspiciously, but then looks back at you guys and says, "It depends. What do our off-world friends need?"
Need to help you.
"To help me?"
Oh, yes. You see, we have certain interests which may align with yours, I think you might find.
Well, he leans forward in his chair, sets his both feet like down, like, yeah, just like that, MG. Like, "I'm listening. How can you help us?"
So, we are of worlders who have come to your fine planet. We are wondering where is some information we need. We trace information that could possibly lead us into this prison underneath the city. And we think, hey, maybe the local people have been unjustly imprisoned, yes. And we
Yeah.
think we need to get into prison. Maybe they need to get into prison. Maybe they need to get someone out of the prison. Perhaps our interests could be aligned on this, yes?
He begins to smile, just the slightest bit on his face. "Oh, it's funny that you bring this up. I was just thinking about this earlier today.
That's a coincidence.
It's quite a coincidence."
Destiny.
Force and destiny.
So, I do have an individual in the prison that I would not mind having freed. I think we can help you get in. What do you need in the prison for?
If we were to go to this prison, first and foremost, we need a way to communicate out to the rest of our people. That way, our little organization has a way to get us out. Second, if there could be some small weapons that could be given to us to defend ourselves, sounds like a pretty dangerous place.
You can see
And
he sighs a little bit at that. Do you think if we had ways to get weapons in that prison, that my sweet Zam would still be inside?
it is easy to get things in. It's not so easy to get things out. I thought we were dealing with someone of a very high level of skill. I'm sorry.
He looks at you, smiles a little bit, and says, I have an idea." And he looks at one of the other Neimoidians and gives him a little head nod. It's almost as like they're on the same train of thought. And he rushes out the door. You can see another Neimoidian follow him. And they disappear out the door for just a moment. You can hear them disappear into the warehouse a little bit, and you can hear what sounds like a tarp being pulled off of something, like and other things. And then you hear like something going zzzz, and it seems like they're pushing this crate that's hovering just slightest bit off of the ground towards the doorway. I think I have a way you can get in with weapons. But it's not going to work. You look like you do. And they open the crate, and you can see a pile of stormtrooper costumes.
Oh!
Thank God, I thought you were going to recommend getting in the crate again.
Not again. I'm how you say claustrophobic.
We do have a couple of confiscated Imperial blasters as well. You could go in posed as shift change, perhaps.
That could be interesting.
This could work.
Or perhaps you could, I don't know, have a friend of yours manacle their arms together, taking in a new prisoner.
My
No, I
question is,
think-
how would you be getting us out? Would we just be... 'cause I highly doubt we're just going to be able to walk out with these prisoners. Once we've...
To take creativity, that's for sure.
I think that they are providing us means of ingress, and the egress is
Gotcha.
on us.
It will not be easy. You're attempting to walk in and bust prisoners out of a high-security Imperial facility, swarming with stormtroopers. But I think
Yes.
I think it's outstanding.
How many of these uniforms do you have? Just 2?
Yeah, as you're looking there, it looks like there's like 6 of them.
Oh.
They probably only fit certain biology.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think a Mon Calamari could
I think
fit one.
it's
But
humanoid or nothing, brother.
We will say
You're like, thank
we will
God.
say there's one extra
Thank this
large
God.
helmet. One stormtrooper had a really big head. You might be able to fit that one on there. It might be a little bit of a squeeze.
Unless I'm the one in the manacles.
is there only one individual that you wish to retrieve? Because if that is the case, then I might have a plan. If we get all 6 of your uniforms, of course.
Yes, her name is Zam Scorpio.
Okay.
I don't know where she is kept, but I want to guess she's somewhere between on the second or third floor of the prison. Her crimes did not merit her being placed on any of the higher levels.
Do you know anything about prisoners who would have been placed during the Clone Wars?
You look at him, Yeska, and he does not look that old. You guys don't know much about Neimoidians, but he looks at you and he says, I really have no idea. They're probably still in there if they didn't die in there.
Like, aside, like, I'm 31, but I remember stuff that happened in the 70s because of, books.
The books
Sorry.
in Nymodia.
Sorry. There's no books in Cato Neimoidia. They all
These
got
are-
sold.
These are
build
also
battlefields.
gangsters who probably aren't the most educated.
Hey man, you read a book
Whoa.
lately? Yeah. Like,
I
You
did
need to
that,
open up
and then I
your
sold some crack.
mind. Just to clarify, you would be surprised. We won't
but-
get into that. That's
yeah.
a conversation for another time.
Yeah, he looks younger. He doesn't look like he kind of he just quizzically looks at you and basically says that once you go into
The
that
world
prison,
started when I was born.
once you get into that prison, most people don't get out. Even if your crimes are mediocre to, nothing at all, hardly. You just basically go in there and you don't come out.
Well, Yeska, what do you think?
I think this is a very good plan. We will take the stormtrooper armor and the weapons. How may we keep in contact with you to help organize the escape?
Could you
Okay.
possibly have people on the outside just in case we need some
Need a quick getaway.
quick getaway?
Is there persuasion on your skills list?
I don't think so.
What do we
Let's
use as
take a
persuasion?
look.
I don't know
That's
though.
like charm or coercion.
Yeah,
or-
charm or coercion probably would be it.
Do a charm check, and I'm gonna give
Or
you
cool.
I'm gonna give you a blue boost with Yeska's help.
Okay.
Okay. And this is gonna be an average check, 2 purple dice.
Okay. And you said charm, correct?
Charm, yes, we'll go with charm. Oh, you succeed.
Yep.
We can have groups outside.
Just in case something goes awry on the exit.
Look for the as you exit, look for the swoop bikes.
Will do.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Oh, and by the way, if anything goes awry, this conversation never happened.
Oh, of course.
Already forget.
Yeah.
I found these. They fall off the back of a speeder.
Yeah. I need to keep track of their equipment better.
He looks at you both and says, "Good. Glad that we were
Let
able
us
to come to an agreement on that one."
let us say we can pay you a small considerance for your help. And
Look at Yeska like,
trust me. And I take out 50 credits and slide them over to him.
Oh. There's icing on the cake. He takes them and he just pockets the 50 credits.
This is a way to maintain good friendships, I think.
Please help get Zam out.
of course.
We'll have the bikers ready in case they're needed. Good luck.
Thank you.
You
I'll
just
head
kinda
back
bows
down
to him.
towards the.
Yeah, I guess we wheel the or float the cart
Float the car, yeah, over to
back to our car.
You think you could probably fit all the costumes in the trunk and in the back seat if you needed to. Just don't get
We
pulled
got like an
over.
Impala.
Yes. They take the flashlights and they're looking in the back. Why do you got stormtrooper costumes?
That's when we actually just set them up to look like someone's taking them.
them. Yeah, you guys make your way out to the speeder, and it's still there. It doesn't look like it's been messed with at all. You guys are able to get back in the speeder, load up the merchandise that you have picked up, and you guys start making your way back towards the Phoenix through the
I
alleys.
obey every traffic law. Stop at the stop lights. When it goes blue, I go.
That's fantastic.
I use ascending turn signal. I use descending turn signal. All of the stuff.
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Dran and Raven, during this whole trip and conversation, was there anything else that you guys wanted to do while they were gone?
I think we're going to try and narrow down if we can either find resources for the actual layout of the prison, and if not, try and hack it.
Okay. So next step is to try to hack into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a full layout as best we can, or even partial layout.
Dran, you going to try to do this?
Yeah. Hacking from here, is this the right thing to do? Should we hack from like a coffee shop or something?
Good question.
I mean, that's fair. I suppose we could figure that out.
You guys could go into the Drop View Cantina, which is right there at the airport,
Yeah, it sounds
basically.
like that.
Yeah, we'll use the airport Wi-Fi. It's fine.
Yeah, use the Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
Because they do have like public computer access and things like that you guys could get onto there. So you guys make your way to the Drop View Cantina. Music is pumping. Do I have that music that I had last time? Let's see.
Ooh.
Is it under environment maybe? There it is. Alien Nightclub. Yeah, so you guys are hanging out a little bit.
Prepare
It's
yourself.
all
It's
right.
definitely picked up in crowd, and you can see the droids, the droid waitresses and waiters are making their way about the tables. You guys make your way up to one of the a public access computer terminal, and Duran starts to type away. So you're gonna try to hack into the prison systems?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like you to go ahead, and you're going to make a computer check. I guess Raven would be helping you in some way, so
Yes.
you'll get a blue boost. But the difficulty on this check is going to be very difficult. It's going to be 4 purple dice.
Oh my gosh.
So it's going to be a daunting check to hack into
Yeah.
this.
Upgrade.
Yeah, I'm
Oops,
gonna reach out to the Force and
Okay.
Smart.
hope the destiny is on my side here. So I'm gonna use a light side point.
Let me double check something really quick. I want to make sure that I've got the right difficulty for that, because I think I was correct on that.
I mean, you are accessing government records
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
world.
Like confidential
crappiest
prison
restaurants.
layout records is so.
Yeah, it is a daunting check. 4 purple dice. And you're flipping a destiny points. You got- Hey, you got them. Might as well use them.
Might as well use them. All right, it's do or die. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh! Wait, this is complicated.
You get a virus.
Or you just track it back to where they were
Good thing
at.
it's somebody else's computer. Yeah.
So you were
Oh, yeah.
successfully able to get an inner schematic of the prison. You downloaded all of that information. You were able to get it and access it. Are you going to forward it to the Phoenix's computer systems, so that way you have it long term?
I'm
gonna put it on
can
your
I
comm
put it on
links?
my.
Comm.
Can I put it on? Oh yeah. Put it on a.
You could
Put
put
it
it
on
on
my
your
comm.
head. You could put it on your head thing too if you wanted.
Because I have Well then although if there's a virus, then it's on my. Do we have like a comm link that we can put it on?
Yeah. You guys have physical comm links. Yeah. I think you all have a
yeah,
comm
that's
link.
probably.
So you're gonna download it on your comm links? Okay. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like Raven would put it on her comm link.
Okay.
Okay, so Raven's got it on the comm link too, so you guys got the schematics. What other things were you looking for? Because you were able to hack in with the you didn't even need a password. You were just bypassing
It was the
Prisoner-
anniversary, wasn't
it.
it?
Was the anniversary. It was
anniversary.
totally the anniversary date.
Yes.
Yeah.
Humans are so predictable.
Emperor
You're not
Rule
wrong.
666.
I think we'd be looking for prisoner information, like holding information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Floor's name is high value targets.
You
Anything
do,
rebellion.
You do discover Gren Open's information in the records. Apparently, he was arrested by Suljo Warde for treasonous actions towards, or rebellious actions towards the Republic. But there was no evidence. There was not, like, he did nothing, but was arrested for it. He was arrested under suspicion of doing it. And he put him into prison. And he is currently on floor number 6.
Well, that's pretty cheap.
In cell number 618. 618.
Can you say that again for me?
He's in cell 618. 618.
On floor which?
On floor 6.
6th floor.
Okay, so we've got Gren. Did we pick up? Is it Zam indeed on the 2nd or 3rd floor?
Did
we pick up?
they give you information that this was
Not
a
yet.
name
Oh, that's
yet?
right. We don't know. We don't
So-
know. Oh, actually,
so
we don't
you
know
guys
her
don't
yet.
know her yet.
Yeah.
So
But we do have the prisoner roster, I'm assuming.
you were able to download a roster, somewhat. Not all the information is there unless you can download all the individual folders.
Yeah.
There's like a
Okay.
list, but there's no like indication of like what room they would all be in without clicking on it. And
Are there any rebel
accessing it.
agents, Michael?
Any rebel agents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get 2 On as you're searching. You get to click on one. An individual named Sadra Radian.
You're radiant.
And basically, she was helping the rebel alliance with being able to kind of they were trying to start some kind of underground foothold here, but it hasn't been very successful. She got found out and then imprisoned for it by the Empire, and it's been a relatively recent thing. She is actually on the 7th floor.
Ooh.
And she is on 724 is the cell block number. And at that, I'm gonna spend my 2 threat. And all of a sudden, you are ejected from the computer system, and it begins to flash red for a couple moments, and it says "security breach" across the computer.
Raven, time to run.
Michael, I know you kicked us out, but I had a question. Was there any familiar names in terms of bounty hunters on this list that I could have scanned?
Nothing like when you were when Dran was like scanning through quickly.
There
because
was
he didn't
no,
want to be
like-
noticed.
yeah.
Nothing just stood out to you that's like, hey, I know
Okay.
that name.
Okay.
Of course, if you had time to like sit there and like dig through it and look through it,
Mhm.
maybe something would have popped up. But right now, you guys got booted out of the computer system.
Yeah, we're
But they
booting it.
downloaded the basic stuff they were
Yeah.
talking
You
about.
got the
before
somatics, you got the information of where Gren Open's being held and where this Sadra Radian is also being held.
Cool. Yeah, we leave.
Okay, you guys
Run.
heading out there. Go, both of you make a vigilance check for me, please. And this is going to be 2 purple dice difficulty.
Very vigilant.
Vigilance?
Dran, the pressure of this situation causes you a tremendous amount of strain. Take 2 strain.
Yes, sir.
Raven,
He's like whistling as he goes through.
Raven,
Yeah.
you recognize on the far side of this cantina
Mm-hmm.
the individual that you guys confronted before, who got away in a land speeder, and he's pointing towards Dran and you, and has 3 stormtroopers around him. And they look like one stormtrooper like looks up where the computer system is towards you, and then looks back to the other stormtroopers and this Neimoidian, and the Neimoidian just like looking up, pointing towards you two. And what do you do?
Comlink over all of them. So we might have been compromised. Stay low or running. And I'm booting it. I'm trying to weave through
We've
crowds.
yeah.
crowds and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yep.
people here. Go ahead, both of you make stealth checks.
Just
And
curious.
Because there is a crowd, I'm going to give you a blue boost die each, and it's going to be
Alright.
average difficulty with 2 purple dice.
Okay.
Do you have any smoke bombs?
Dran, because of the situation, I'm going to also ask you to add a setback die to your stealth
Add a
check.
setback die. Alrighty.
Michael, quick question. Where would we be at when we got this message?
Oh,
You
that's it?
are, you just pulled through an intersection. The blue light has just gone blue, and Yeska hit the gas. And you guys got a comm link saying that you guys might have been compromised, and that Raven said that they are running.
I will say back over the comlink. Do you need a pickup somewhere? We're on the way back to the hangar.
Is there a landmark that I can see that's tall?
There's nothing really that's. I mean, it's a pretty crowded city. You do see some kind of like massive neon, blue and yellow sign. It seems to be blinking outside of this place. That's the thing that kind of stands out to you the most as you look outside. Raven, you're successful. You kind of blend into the crowd. Dran, you're not successful, but how does your but you have 3 advantage.
I'd like to say maybe they notice me because I like plow into 2 people and I create a bit of chaos that whatever happens next, maybe I can take advantage of the situation.
Excellent. Yeah, you kind of plow into some people. They spill drinks everywhere. You can see some of those, the big mug of blue lightning just spills all over the floor.
That's like 50 credits!
That's right.
I say over
He's like
comm.
push somebody and then like go.
And you recognize another thing is you bump in. You actually bumped into people, and you bumped into a droid, a 4-armed droid, and it's actually the droid that was going to your table that you guys were sitting at before.
He needs maintenance.
D222, and he spills all these liquids all over him, and you can see this blue like electrical static. So need maintenance, need maintenance, need maintenance, and it starts to stumble around a little bit. Need maintenance.
That's beautiful.
And it goes, and as these stormtroopers heading towards you guys, seeing this commotion, seeing Dran, and they start to pick up their pace, the D222 starts spinning its upper body out of control and hits all the stormtroopers with its arms, and they go rolling back down some of the stairs and off of the other areas. And
So
Dran,
the doctor's struggling, but it looks like he's got things covered with that faulty droid.
Oh,
But
no.
that bastard with the white Honda seems to have screwed us over, so we're probably going to need to pick up at some point, but I need to keep eyes on the doctor to make sure he gets out okay.
Actually, as you're having this comm link and you're squeezing through, finally Dran makes eye contact with you, Raven, and just books it right towards you.
I'd start weaving and hoping that he follows me.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say this, but Dran is now Jar Jar, and I hate it.
No, I love it.
I love it. I love it.
And you guys are approaching the cantina, as you can see Raven, your Mandalorian-clad armored friend, and Dran, who seems to be sweating a bit, huffing and puffing, and has some. It looks like blue lightning has been spilled all over his attire. He looks like he had a rough go, and makes his way out to where the land speeder is pulling up.
Yeah, so we pull up, I hit the unlock button, and roll down the window. Hey.
I love that it's
Right.
still the mechanical roll down the window.
yeah, you hit the button earlier, and now you're doing the crank.
Sorry. I grew up.
It has
I
both
grew up
options,
with these,
you know?
It has both options for
Yeah.
like nostalgic sake.
That's it.
And
That's it.
and that's my default.
No,
is my
you're
default,
fair.
This is my default drive with the ship.
With
This
the
is my
Uh-huh.
ship.
default window.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
only you got it. That's awesome, Jim. So doors are unlocked. Are you guys jumping in?
Oh,
Jumping
yeah.
in, and the land speeder
Dukes of
takes
Hazzard
off.
slide across the hood.
Everybody go ahead, and everybody in the car go ahead and make one more vigilance check for me. This is going to be 2 purple dice difficulty. Dran, the safety of the car, the land speeder, makes you feel so much better. You can go ahead and heal one of your strain with your advantage. Raven, with your success, you do notice the stormtroopers seem to be like rushing outside. It looks like some of them have liquids and stuff spilled all over them. One of them's like adjusting its helmet from being thrashed by a droid, having a mechanical breakdown. And they look like they have their blasters ready, but it doesn't look like they saw you guys get into the car and speed off. It looks like they're just out in the crowd, like looking all around hastily. You see the same thing, Yeska. And unfortunately, with all that threat that you guys got, your land speeder takes a bit of system strain.
Oh no!
How much? Do you guys have access to your land speeder character sheet? How much?
Raven's gonna kill us.
How much system strain does your land speeder have?
It's her fault, not ours.
Yeah.
As you,
I was obeying all
That's 5.
traffic laws.
you take 4 points of system strain, so it's 1 away from like overheating. Like you can feel like Yeska is pushing the core modulator of this thing to the limits. As you guys speed off towards
Where's
I
the
hear
vehicle
the
to keep it
sound
when
of
you need
the-
it, right?
I hear the sound of the engine, and I just like.
Yeah, it's got almost like a death rattle to it, like.
There's another conflict point.
Doesn't sound good at all.
Why am I the only one taking conflict points? This is stupid.
How is it that you all got into more trouble than we did? Like, what happened?
We kind of hacked
It's
into the government.
Stupid cantina.
Minor
Right.
hiccup.
Why did you
with
go
the
back to
hacking.
the cantina?
Oh, so sad. I'm absolutely heartbroken we can't go back there.
No, why did you go back there?
We didn't want to use the computer on the ship to hack the government.
Yeah, we didn't want it to track back to us. We
That-
wanted public access.
That cantina is cursed, I swear.
Well, we got what we needed. We got more information than I expected we would. Doctor did a good job hacking, but they were more aware of our presence than I anticipated. The hacking wasn't quite foolproof. They noticed after about 5 minutes. So we couldn't get all the information downloaded, we got most of it.
We know where Gren? Where
Sixth
Gren
floor.
is. 6th floor, 618. There may also be a member of my organization in there who, assuming that she's still in health and good spirits, could potentially help us.
Well,
And
we
we
got
discovered the local color population also has people in there that we can get out.
just one individually. One individual. But they did provide us a way in, so that's useful.
I think
Like a secret door or a...
No, the front door actually.
But that's...
We have stormtrooper uniforms that we could put on.
I wanted to surprise him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
You
didn't.
ruined
You
everything.
should have discussed this with me before they got into the vehicle. I didn't know.
Oh, I thought
can't
it
read
was
it. I can't
evidently
find it.
Well, I
good
kind of
joke.
figured, considering you have a bunch of stormtroopers in the back seat
Yeah,
with
Also
us.
yeah, you guys are sitting
like-
amongst like stormtrooper costumes in the back.
I take a conflict point.
There you go. Take a compliment. It was one of those situations where you were so comfortable to be back in the vehicle, and you're
Yeah.
like,
I rest my-
you rest
Let
your
me
hand
just
on the helmet.
It's like no, he's like he feels armor beside him and thinks it's just Raven, and then like he turns to talk to Raven and goes, "Not Raven." That's so not Raven.
Wow.
There it is. There it is.
Call
and then,
back.
and then Dran automatically pulls a Macaulay Culkin and. All right. So you guys make your way. I'm assuming you guys are going back to the Phoenix.
Yes.
We'll
I
take
figured.
roundabout route, make sure we're not followed.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, you take a little bit of a roundabout route. You don't see anybody following you. Everybody's head's on a swivel now that this has all happened. You don't seem to notice anybody as you guys pull back into the storage compartment of the Phoenix. The landing ramp seems to close behind you, and you guys are now back in the safety of the Phoenix once again.
So I think the best course of action here is to release as many people as possible.
Well,
Seems there are a lot of unfair
This-
prisoners here.
this is what I was thinking. Also, since we're going to be making our way into the prison, looking like stormtroopers,
Mm.
I was thinking we just bring in, like in duffel bags, the other uniforms we don't use, and then we could just give it to the people that we are trying to get out, and then we don't even need to start a riot. We just walk out.
How many are we trying to get out of here?
Well, with your individual,
Hey,
there's one for you, right, Dran, that you wanted
Yeah.
to try and get out. So that would be
Yeah.
3. Well, we have 6 uniforms. So if
We're
3
down
of us
one.
went in,
Oh,
all 3 of us could bring in a uniform. Acting like it's our lunch or
It's our gym bag.
yeah, exactly. Our change of uniform, just in case we get something on our armor.
You know how messy
Yeah.
prisoners can be.
Exactly. And then we hand it off.
that means only 3 of us are going in.
Yeah. I'm
And
sorry,
one can be outside waiting to help us with the getaway.
Dran, I don't know if you're personally going to fit. There was a bigger sized one, but I don't
Let's
know.
try. And I take the big helmet. I try to conk it on his head.
It makes the big thunk sound as it goes over top of his head. It does.
I just kind of line it up and go. Boom.
It does fit. It's uncomfortable, but it definitely does fit. Your mechanisms that you have attached to the side of your head, Drew,
Oh, yeah, that would-
seem to make
Oh, right.
it a snug fit.
Yeah.
And I take it back off. Sorry, I'm not sure this is the best idea.
So I'll just wait in the ship and fire on the prison if anything goes wrong with the turbo laser.
That's a good idea. We'll keep it.
Create a
keep
door
it
for
in
you
our-
guys to get out.
We'll
again,
keep that in our back pocket. Yes.
I think we were just planning on using the entrance again to escape, though.
The way to do it, sure, okay.
Also, our friends at the Crimson Creehawks also said that they're gonna have some swoop bikes on the outside just in case we need a speedy getaway when exiting.
Sense.
So what is everybody's feelings on this plan? Raven, you're being awfully quiet.
Well, we know that there's at least 2 rebels being held. We know where one is.
Oh, that's true.
Normally, I would like the clean way of doing things, where we could just walk in and walk out. But I don't think that's going to happen. And if it's not going to happen anyway, I say we make as much noise and chaos and give people as much chance as they can to escape. Not all of them will make it, but some might.
Why do you think it will not work?
Just a gut feeling.
What does your 4 senses tell you about the future of this plan?
Let's fucking find out.
Okay, so you can go ahead and
Hey,
make
Christy,
your...
that should be your decision to do those. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Like, this is Christy and Raven just feeling like this isn't this. So it makes sense that
it's got your gut in a royal.
yeah. So I feel like this would probably be a very poignant time for her to use her foresee power, foresight.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate it.
Nice. This is Sister Skull Kid?
Mr. Skull Kid?
It's like a Majora's Mask.
Yeah, Sister Skull Kid.
Hell yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and see into probably tomorrow, which is assuming when we're doing it.
Okay. Like tomorrow during the day, tomorrow during the evening. What were you guys thinking?
Did you all get a sense of like when shift change was?
Yeah.
When you were looking up
Yeah.
the
We could go hack again.
That part did not come up.
Is there no like kind of like cheat sheet scrawled into the underside of the armor?
Being a stormtrooper for dummies, like book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're apparently are fresh
Because
out.
I had buddies in the army that they would keep a little crib sheet of some basic stuff whenever they first started.
Yeah. I mean,
Standards, Michael. Like, are there?
It looks like these stormtroopers were killed in some way of shape or form. There are like some stale blood stains and things inside some of these pieces of armor. There are like small bits that are missing in some parts. Like one of them's supposed to have this little guard like behind the kneecap is missing on one of them. So it looks like it either fell off while they were like hastily taking the armor off, stealing this armor from a stormtrooper or something like that. It's not the cleanest armor in the world, but you think it would still pass. They don't look like pristine, glistening stormtroopers from the movies or anything like that, you know?
I'm going to start cleaning the sets
Okay.
of
Sure.
armor. This is not military fashion, and definitely we will stand out if we have dirty uniforms.
Okay.
Gotta shine the boots until you can see your face, right?
That's right. Maggots.
Do me a favor. Make a coordination check as you're cleaning these.
Sure thing. Any difficulty on
It'll
that?
be 2 purple dice.
This is really dirty then. You said coordination?
They're not really dirty. It's just some parts are pretty fragile.
Carbon scoring.
Bullet holes.
Oh.
All right, yeah, you get them. You do get them
I
clean.
pinched my thumb.
You do, yeah. You kind of. It takes you a lot longer than you would expect. So like you're staying you're hours into the night like scrubbing these things.
I only need to sleep too.
That's
Perfect.
So Christy,
my assumption is we would be doing it maybe early evening,
okay.
around dinner time.
Okay. So yeah, so your goal is to try to see into the future around that time.
Does that seem reasonable if we're like under like while it's just getting dark, but there's still enough light for us to kind of navigate?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. Yep. So like 7, 8 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your force die.
All right.
Wow.
Is it this one? Sorry, I haven't done this in a minute. Dark.
Dark side. Do you wish to use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems worth it.
Take another conflict and a point of strain.
All right.
I think you have to flip a destiny point too. Is that the way it works? Do you have to flip a destiny? I
If
think
you're
that's what-
using
yeah.
dark side.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh.
You have to flip one of those destinies
Okay.
too. There we go.
It's alright, we're still doing okay.
And it just succeeds, correct? If you use it. Okay, so we get that familiar close up, that's so Raven moment, as we close up in through the Mandalorian helmet. As Raven, you begin to focus. You can see yourself inside some secure facility. You seem to be making your way hastily down a hall. You can see you stop and you hold out your arm, and you can see looking beside you there's another stormtrooper. And it stops and it just looks at you, kind of shakes its head as you wait. You can see there's a little mechanical droid kind of just wheeling its way down the hall, and it looks to the left and backs up a little bit, looks to the right, and then seems to disappear down another hallway. And at which time you look at the other stormtrooper and shake your head, kind of wave on, and you guys make your way down the hall. It kind of the vision starts to blur a little bit, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in front of a secure door. And another stormtrooper kneels down next to the door. It looks like he's taken a comm link and attaching some kind of wire to some kind of computer system that's outside the door, and begins typing on the comm link. And then this secure door seems to open inward. And there is an individual, a Nymoidian, there, who rushes out and looks at all the stormtroopers with a little bit of a frightened look. You see yourself take off your helmet. Well, actually, you see a couple of your friends take off your helmet, because you wouldn't take off your helmet. But you see your others take off the helmet, and it looks like they're having some kind of conversation, but this just focuses on you, so you're not really sure what the conversation is, but it looks like an argument takes place between the individuals, your friends, and this individual. It looks like the individual wants to go farther into the prison.
That's what I figured.
And that's when you start to hear like alarms start to go off, and you fade out of your vision.
A lot more than 6 people to get.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boys, but it's we're dealing with some stubborn individuals who are very passionate about their feelings, and I don't think we're going to just waltz out with just 3 that are going to want to save their friends, their family, their loved ones, other rebellions, and we're likely going to get caught.
Kayla
That makes
says
it more
hello.
fun.
Hello.
So if we're going to get caught anyway, I say we just go in hard and get as many out as possible.
Well, I think we should still use the uniforms to go in.
I do. No, that's a good way to enter, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
We
I
can't.
So we
don't-
should be ready to leave with the bang.
Yes, I don't think bringing 3 extra stormtrooper outfits are going to aid us other than just slow us down.
Well, Doc, that means you have to squeeze back into that helmet. Sorry.
Preferably, I'm going to need your hacking abilities, Doctor. I'm going to need to use your comm link to open those doors. It's going to be
I
difficult.
can certainly try.
Because there's definitely no reason for you not to go in now if we're not gonna try and
The
smuggle
more
them
backup
out.
we have, yeah.
I'm
more
looking
firepower.
forward to it. Yeah.
I'm sure you
Oh,
are.
Sister Skull Kid says, make sure you're not too short for a stormtrooper.
Nice.
Maybe.
Luke
Yes, that might be
Skywalker,
too
here to
tall.
rescue you.
So as Dran is trying on this stormtrooper helmet, and everybody seems he's readjusting it a little bit, our group got some information. And they think they've got somewhat of a plan. I think they're formulating the final details of this plan. And I'm going to let them take it away. Or do you guys want to wait till, like, do you guys want to say that it's the next morning? You guys got some rest? You guys slept on it? And you guys are getting...
Sure.
Because
We could say we
Yeska's
slept on
been
it, just
Yeska's been up most
It's like
of the
they
night
wake up and
cleaning
there's
the
like
stormtrooper.
six
I would've-
mostly clean suits of armor.
Nice. I probably would have found the doctor to have a quick chat before we go to bed.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
Apologize in advance. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah, so you
Uh,
approach
yeah.
the good doctor.
I'll knock on his like room door and kind of be like, Doctor, do you have a moment?
Of course, come in. I'm just like in a meditation position.
Am I interrupting?
Not at all.
All right. How are you feeling
Excited.
lately? To what extent?
Well, I mean, things might get a little hot tomorrow. We might see some action.
How are you feeling outside of that?
Well, I see an opportunity to rescue at least 2 of my allies, get them back in the fight, and maybe reduce the enemy's capacities in the meantime,
Well, I don't
without
expect-
putting the rest of us in danger.
Of course. And I don't expect us to escape without any bloodshed on either side. But I just hope that if another occasion should arise, like the last time, that you find a little bit more discipline and peace, knowing that you're not alone. We got your back, Doctor. And I apologize for maybe exploding on you a little harshly last time, but I only want what's best for you, honestly. You're a good man. An average doctor, but you're getting better.
I mean, I have a degree in medicine. I took a first aid course in the military, but just one course. It was like one session. Anyway, but no, thank you.
What?
You know what? When we were back on Spintier, I almost brought it up with, the warden and all them just to see, but they seem to think that, I mean, if they can rehabilitate those dark Jedi, then somebody that just made one mistake, there's still room for, right?
Of course, Doctor. And you learn for those mistakes. They don't have to define you, but they can help build character. I've made plenty of mistakes in my lifetime. I'm not one to judge. Though I was very judgy last time. I was quite angry.
Well, it was wrong. I think fortunately this time we'll be dealing with mostly armed opponents it'll be a fair game.
Exactly. I just wanted to check in with you, see how you were doing, knowing that we're going to be facing more of them tomorrow.
I'll be looking for the signal to fire at will.
Bring your comm along. I'm going to need you. And I kind of just slap him on the shoulder, and as you were.
Excellent. Any other conversations that would need to be had before a long rest is taken?
It's not really a conversation, but I'm going to go grab a bow staff that I'm assuming I have, and then also another like wooden sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to Yeska. How about you take a little break from cleaning the armor and practice a little bit before tomorrow? Not toss him the wooden sword.
I catch it without looking.
So cool. So cool.
And spin up into a salute.
And we'll just have a little training session. little sparring.
This is
not going too like hard, but like,
This is,
Just
this is like
second.
is this like
Yeah.
that scene in the Matrix where they all start saying they're getting ready to fight and they're everybody's like
wait, Tizo. I know kung fu.
Oh.
Good thing I do too.
Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Because the initiative doesn't work between two PCs in this system.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no
So
We're
PvP in
supposed
this
to
game?
work together.
Yeah. So why don't we do this? Let's go ahead. I will ask you to roll initiative. But what we're gonna do is whoever rolls the highest will get to go first in this case. We're
Simultaneous.
Gotcha.
we're using cool because you guys know this is a fight. So that will be your initiative for this.
Michael, while this is happening, could I have seen what they're up to and just gone back to the speeder to try and heal that strain?
Yeah, you can work on the speeder, sure.
I'll do that while I'm listening to the clangs of the wooden swords on each other.
Christy, question for you: Do you have
That's
access to
cool.
the Do you have
Cool.
access to the core rulebook? The Force and Destiny
Yes.
core rulebook. There is a place
Yes.
in vehicles where it talks about system strain. Can you go look for the ruling on it for me while I'm initiating their little sparring?
Sure.
Okay,
I
perfect.
can do that.
I don't think I'd be able to look up the rule and do this at the same time.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay, so it looks as if Yeska has won the initiative
Yeah.
with the advantages.
Well,
So, we're just gonna go ahead and use your, I guess, because there's no wooden stick stats.
yeah.
No, I was
Um,
just assuming we would probably use the same lightsabers, like
just
thing.
we'll just use lightsaber stats and we'll go for it, and you guys can just you can just kind of narratively take it as you guys go back and forth. So Yeska, you get the first go as you guys are.
All right. Are there any difficulties to
It's all 2 purple
our
because
attacks
because you
against each
guys are
other?
engaged against each other. Is there going to be black setback dice on your attack at all?
I mean, I'm assuming I wasn't wearing my armor.
Oh, you took
but
the armor off? Okay. So there wouldn't be
Probably,
any.
yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Shirtless.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
they're
probably-
both shirtless with these.
in that case, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
fan
I'll,
service scene for.
yeah. So we'll say that it's just standard 2 purple dice. Then there's no setback at all, unless one of your actions like deems it appropriate to give another player a setback.
yeah. So yeah, we're both in workout gear.
And this seems like this is an honorable matchup. So that you guys want it to be like fair mano a mano kind of style.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go first if my character sheet will scroll. It has frozen.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go.
Yay. Ouch.
So I lunge. I lunge. Just kind of, like we're both, on the on guard position. Like I'm not taking advantage of him, but I
we
give
both do
a long
bow
quick
before we
lunge.
start.
Do long quick lunge, and like I randomly set Yeska's height at 1.92 meters, and didn't metric that in my brain at all. But that's like 6'3" in Imperial, and so like he's got incredibly long arms.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So-
You're much taller than me, too, yes.
Wingspan, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like he's got that Michael Phelps going on, and he just lunges from across the room and just like tags you on the shoulder and smiles at you and go, "That's one."
Well, here's what
And
we'll
then,
do. We'll say so the
and
total
then back
damage.
off to
Total damage. I think you both do a base of 6 with your lightsabers.
Yes.
Okay. What I'll say is the damage on this is going to be 8. What's your soak, Tizo?
2, because I
2.
don't have armor.
Okay, so you
Probably.
take 6 points of stun strain damage. Okay?
Yeah.
We're just going to do all strain for this, and whoever runs out of strain first is kind of like the loser of the sparring match. You can't,
Gotcha.
and there aren't going to be any criticals here. These weapons aren't strong enough to do any
Figured.
critical hits. So we won't do criticals, but you can still spend the advantage if you'd like to, Yeska. You could give yourself a boost your next go if you wanted to.
I'll spend the next one to give me a boost.
Okay. Now it's become as he kind of pulls back, Tizo, you get ready to make an offensive strike against Yeska.
Yeah, that would nice hit. And
Oh.
Ooh.
so I do the same amount of damage,
Ooh.
Yeah.
except I'm going to use my linked property of my bow staff, because I'm assuming I have that same property.
Yeah, on the bow staff, so you do
I,
double.
yeah.
2 quick strikes catches Yeska off guard. What is your soak, Yeska?
On both your shoulders.
That would be double.
Yeah, so what's your
Yeah.
soak?
Oh, my soak.
And
My
I do
soak
believe
is
you guys
3.
can still use parry talents on this too.
I'd
if you'd
probably,
like.
yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll do that.
Okay.
So hold on, let me double check my.
The only problem with parry
My
is
sheets.
it makes you suffer strain, so it might not be
Mhm.
beneficial.
Yeah.
Which might not be
Beneficial to do it.
beneficial to do it for this. We can just narratively say you're trying to parry, and some of the strikes. Just you guys aren't used to fighting people with your skill levels thus far during your adventures. The only one that kind of gave you guys a little bit of fear was Markov, but he still didn't have as much lightsaber skill as you guys did.
So since we're only doing strain in this sparring session, I'm not sure how it applies because like my parry says when I'm hit by a
Yeah,
melee attack,
you
I
suffer
suffer
the
3
strain.
strain
Right. It'll
to
be
reduce
narrative.
damage by 2 plus my ranks in parry.
What's your soak? Just tell me what your soak is.
My soak is 3.
Is 3? Okay, so basically, you are going to take 13 points of strain damage from these quick strikes. Is that going to keep you up on your feet?
I still am on my feet.
Okay.
Whew.
Yeah, so these quick strikes as Tizo's swinging around, he's held back on the hawkback swoop that you've seen so many times. It's kind of like the it's kind of like the DDT in WWE wrestling. You know, it's that finishing move that he always comes in with. So yeah, he puts a pretty big hurting on you, but then seems to back off and take more of a defensive stance.
I forgot something is that when I'm one-on-one, I get a boost, so I forgot to add that the last time.
Okay, well make sure you add it to this attack this time, and you also have another boost. You have 2 boosts.
And
because
I've given myself another
Mhm.
one.
Yep.
I will actually use the dodge incidental. So I
Dodge.
take 1 point of strain, but it upgrades the difficulty.
Oh, so you have an upgraded difficulty.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have a feeling I'm still gonna go down here, but
Yeah. Tizo backs off, takes a defensive stance. Looks like he's using his bow staff to try to get ready to block your incoming strike with your wooden sword.
Oh no, did Yeska get smacked off the internet?
I'm wondering.
He might have.
He might have froze. I know sometimes when he's
got
doing a
yeeted.
lot of things in Roll20, sometimes it freezes
Yeah,
everything on him.
Yep, there you went.
China
He's coming back,
internet can be a bitch. So
That was that hawkbat swoop.
There was the hogback
Sorry.
swoop. It knocked him out of the internet.
Sorry, this always seems to happen to me around 9 my time.
yep.
Anyway, so it's my turn again.
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
And it's upgraded difficulty.
So it's 2.
Yep, 1 upgrade.
It's 2 purple with 1 upgrade now because he's using his dodge incidental to try to avoid your incoming strike.
And don't forget your 2 blues
Okay.
also.
2 blues. I'm going to. They're gonna hate me. I'm gonna use a destiny point.
Wow!
he's channeling the force. He's channeling the force.
To upgrade
Jedi
one for
training
me.
at its
Yes.
best, boys.
He goes into a state of
More than
deep
likely, you're gonna
meditation.
hit me no matter what.
I
Knock me
hear
over.
this like incredible crash, and I'm like, what the hell?
No, it's like the way I'm saying is like it's one of Yeska's things is pride,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
so I feel like I
Mhm.
would do something dumb like that
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
in order to. So I've upgraded you. I've upgraded me. Here we go.
Okay. Very good. You succeed in your hit. That's going to be 7 total damage. After soak, I
Yeah,
think
that'll
it's-
knock me out.
it'll knock you out.
5.
So
That's
how
you
it
needed
happens
exactly
is
5.
yeah,
He's got you.
Yeska lunges forward again, and and I imagine that you're holding, your bow staff, kind of, like quarterstaff manner in front of you, ready to defend. But I stab and it slips like underneath your thing and goes up, and my fist clocks you in the chin, and then bringing it down, and it smacks my staff into your shoulder.
Okay, perfect. And you bring Tizo to 1 knee in front of you.
Yes.
Tizo seems to
I will-
relax a little bit. And go ahead.
I will look back up to him and just go for his hand. That was very good. I haven't had
We predator shake.
I have not had a interesting sparring match in quite some time, so I quite enjoyed that.
You almost had me there.
I'm very good with the first strike, but then after that, if my opponent does not fall or forfeit, I tend to lose traction. So
You must always be prepared for the second.
it's what I'm trying to learn. Yes.
Let's go and have some rest. Huh?
Yes, I think that's well needed.
Tizo's used to just going right in with that hawk bat swoop and just putting it
Yeah.
all down.
Oh,
Well, you
holy
guys
crap!
take a moment. That was
You had me like I had one strain left.
That was what
Oh,
I was at 13 out of 14.
Yeah.
That was
Oof.
really good.
that was really close.
that was close.
If I hadn't taken those extra strain bits, like from like my career tree, you would have gotten me.
So you guys wake up early in the morning.
Oh, I did. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
oh,
do
yeah.
a mechanic check.
I did a
Oh,
thing.
you can do your mechanics check.
I did a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 difficulty because it's over half the strain of the ship.
Okay.
So I make a mechanics check.
Okay.
All right, so it heals 1 strain.
So you heal one of the strains, and the threat probably doesn't do anything on a repair, right?
No,
Yeah, that's what I
it's a damage control roll.
Gotcha. Yep. So you,
But it does heal strain every day that it's had a rest. So tomorrow it will.
So 2
heal
strain.
another one.
Yeah. So basically, by the time you
Yeah.
guys get to it, it'll have healed 2 of its 4 strains. So
Two-
it'll only
Yeah,
That was awesome.
cool.
Yep. You were able to do that, and then have some rest.
That was a lot of searching in that book. It bounced me
Yeah.
all over the place. Like, go
should-
here to find this, and I'm
It
like,
should have been under your vehicles part.
yeah,
things
but
like
then they said that it's a damage control, and I'm like, what's damage control? So I had to go look up damage control.
Oh, it might
It was
be in
a
like
spiral.
the healing section too. Like it might be.
Yep.
Like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
So I posted it in the
If you
Discord
take
for
the wallet,
future.
turn to page 16.
Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
choose to
choose your
return
own
the wallet,
adventure. Yeah.
turn to page 25.
That's right.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning. Everybody is healed on strain when you wake up.
Cool.
Your strain is back to normal, which is good for the
Some
fellows
of you
who are
guys
up
need
late at night, sparring a bit. The day is yours. What would you like to? How would you like to start out your morning?
I'm gonna start my day
I'm
by
picturing a
Meditating,
montage of each of us doing our own thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeska's doing his morning calisthenics, and then he is strapping on his new shined stormtrooper armor, and looking at himself in the mirror like,
Okay, so MG,
So also-
explain this to me as you're meditating, because I saw you post something.
This is a talent.
It's one of your
It's a talent I
talents.
picked up called One with the Universe.
Okay.
So I have to make an average astrogation check
Okay.
and see how this goes, and this will determine how things play out.
oh,
So we'll see. Astrogation. Okay.
whoa.
Okay.
Nice.
If successful, it adds 1 white blip to all force power checks in the next encounter.
Excellent.
Nice.
Nice.
It
I had
adds
gotten
one R.
If I had been successful with threat, it would have added a dark side blip instead.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Cool.
So I'm
That's,
one with the
that's
universe
just I'm gonna say that's just for you though, right? Correct.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, just meditating and
meditating and
Yeah.
focusing on the midichlorians that are within your body somewhere, reaching out to the universe, connecting
Exactly.
to the force energies. Yeah, you feel, and you feel connected to the force for today, Dran. You feel at
in the
peace.
ground.
Even though you're going into a very hostile environment that you know you'll be tested, you feel this peace about it, and it's
You can call that peace, yeah.
It's quite freeing. It is, Dran. Okay, so Tizo, you were going to say something as well as you were doing it while
Yeah,
Yeska's montage is
Tizo-
happening in the background.
Tizo is also going to meditate, but I don't have anything special for it.
Okay, you
Tizo's
got it.
just meditating.
Sure. Absolutely, Tizo's spending a lot of time in meditation. Raven,
Mhm.
anything you would be doing during the course of the day as you guys are leading up to getting ready to take on this plan, this prison break plan?
For the moment, I am basically jury rigging my carbine blaster to this armor, this
Okay.
new armor.
Okay.
Oh, you
And
are doing
Yeah, so I'm not leaving my gun. Fuck that. So she's basically transferring the jury rig to the stormtrooper armor.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you get the impression
day.
that the laws against heavy weapons do not apply to people wearing stormtrooper costume or uniforms. And armor. I call them
Yep.
costumes because they don't really give you any armor benefit.
Yeah.
So they give you 0 defense and
It's
2 soak?
Yeah, 2 soak. No defense.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
So my
And do we
defense
have,
goes
like,
down by 1 and
blast-
soak up by 2.
I believe so. You'll have to check what your armor gives you right now, because then you'll just have to pretend like you just erase that benefit from that armor and just add the 2 soak.
Yep.
Cool. There's
One
not-
thing that Yaska is also doing is he has taken his universal translator and he is like copying over information into his stormtrooper helmet comm system,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
so that way he sounds more normal.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And-
That's a good idea.
We should disseminate all the floor plans and stuff too, like everything that we got on our
Yeah,
comms,
I
like-
feel like my comm would go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys
In
pretty
my
much downloading it into your
I,
stormtrooper helmet.
I'm a gadgeteer. I'll figure it out. If you guys need help, I feel like she's like tinkerer. She'll help.
that
install.
wouldn't be difficult for you guys to do. You guys would be able to do that no problem during the course of this day. So as you guys are preparing and as all this stuff is taking place, we get that montage of you guys getting ready. I'm going to skip most of the day because there really isn't anything else that's going to occur here while you guys are getting yourself set up. If there's any last minute like things that you wanted to try to accomplish, I would say you only have a few
Walking
hours to accomplish them.
I would say contact that group and let them know what time we're doing it. Contact them, give
Yeah,
them a
so-
heads up.
Get in contact with the Kreehawks and let them
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
when it's going down.
How is it that you wanted to contact them?
Oh, do we
I
have
don't,
one comm
I don't believe you ever got comm link information for them unless you got it for Pato. I don't remember if you got it from Pato last session or not.
Yeah, I don't know if we. I don't remember if we
I thought I
actually.
asked for it, but I don't think we talked.
You know,
about
let's
Should we
ret-
drive out there,
let's
like,
let's
giving them, like,
retcon.
it.
Let's
Drive by and
retcon-
just drop a note.
Let's
Like you would at least have his if you don't have the main guys.
I would say
Pato's.
yeah. I would say we'll retcon and say that you have Pato's information, so you could send him like a
Mhm.
quick, just a quick text message or something like that via comm link and let him know,
His
what
name
time.
is the spice emoji.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I would also say, if possible, forward the schematics to that group in case they need it in the future.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
How good's their
well more.
I was gonna say,
That's well
we-
worth
well,
it. That's
we can
that's
do that
way
afterwards.
more than the 50 credits you let them pocket. that's
Exactly.
gold to them.
Exactly. So if they're gonna help us out, we're gonna.
So this does them a huge solid.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That is definitely winning the Kreehawks over.
He's gonna get promoted for bringing that into the group. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You brought in some really juicy information there. Did you send
Perfect.
them the list, Dran,
Oh yeah.
with all the names on
I would.
it?
I would.
Sure.
I would tell him
yeah.
to, because
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's people in there that they want, like, get back to us before we go so we know.
Yeah. Give us your
Who to look
shopping
for.
list.
Oh
Give us
my
a shopping
goodness.
list.
We got our fake ID. We're at the bar. Let us know what you want.
You may
Oh, look at
regret asking for
Yep.
that because there might be a lot more people in
Well,
there than you realize.
here's the thing.
that they
I feel like we would convey that not everyone is going to get out, but the main people will.
Mhm.
But at least if they have this list, we have an idea of who to hit potentially.
They're not gonna die of old age in prison. You know.
Right, right. Give them a fighting chance.
All right. Yeah, so you guys forward all that information. They are ecstatic to have received such great information. The list is quite extensive of prisoners, so they basically message you back saying they're going to look it over and see if, you know, they're hesitant because they don't know how this is going to go, and they don't want too many of just their group popping out at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then it'll give them away, and then the Empire will be all over them. And I don't think that's something that they were willing to do, which is why they didn't give you an enormous list.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Raven's like, let's get as many people as possible, and if we can pepper those people in while we're doing that.
Yeah. This is great. I'm loving this. This is fantastic. So yeah, you guys got all this information. They basically tell you, yeah, we're gonna have our gang members on swoop bikes. They're gonna send 3 squads out.
All right.
And they'll be kind of, the way it works is the front entrance of the building is on the upper side, and then you basically can see on the schematics that you take an elevator system down. It's kind of like you check in at some kind of main lobby way. They check you in, and then you go down these elevators into the lower floors. It looks on the schematics like there's like a main check-in at every floor, and then it goes to one main hall, and then these like finger tendrils kind of come off of each hall into the different cell blocks. So it's kind of, imagine a hand, you know, where you sign in, and then you can go down a hall that goes side to side, and then down other halls that come off of it. Okay. Are you guys making your way there?
Right.
Yes,
Believe so.
indeed.
Everybody suits up.
We're suited up. We've got our stormtrooper weapons. I assume also that we have our personal weapons stashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you bringing the bag that has the other stormtrooper armor in it?
Yes.
I don't. Are we? Okay.
Are you going with that idea?
I was going to.
I can't carry it, so hopefully somebody else can.
Yeah. So I imagine that we're
you could at least, if you have any weapons that you can't conceal, you could throw them in with the armor in that bag, and then they would be concealed that way.
I'm imagining that bit in Ocean's 11 where it's like they're dressed as the SWAT team and they're carrying the bags.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Do we know anything about this check-in process?
As far as what you guys could gather on the computer, if you're wearing the stormtrooper armor, you don't think it should be an issue.
Okay.
You feel like if you were trying to like bring in a prisoner, they might ask for a prisoner ID number to see if there was something on file for you, you know, bringing that prisoner in. But with your current plan, you don't seem to have that issue. Seems like you guys are just gonna walk in and apparently be reporting to your stations.
I'm assuming that we can communicate, the 3 of us, via comlink, like speaking within our helmets.
Yes.
Is that a thing? So we can talk without being overheard.
Well, all 4 of us, because we're all 4 going in now. Right?
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, you guys can talk amongst each other. Now, if there's another stormtrooper standing right next to you and you guys are talking, then they probably hear what you're saying. But you can
like
you can
they,
talk
they have
to
access
each other.
to the same comm channel.
Well, not necessarily the same comm channel, but if you're talking and they're next to you, they'll still be, you know, still in that area. They'll still be able to hear what you're saying.
The helmets are not completely
not
soundproof.
completely
Is what you're saying.
soundproof. Yeah.
Okay. I get you. So my voice will be disguised during this, so it sounds more like this.
Okay.
What do you think of this voice?
Not bad.
No, I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. Feels weird
You
talking to
know-
you like that.
Personally, it disgusts me as well. I don't understand how you people talk this way.
Yep.
But as soon as we get out of this, the better will be for everyone.
Well,
I
hopefully we have a talking to a minimum then.
Also true.
All right.
Okay, so
You guys
we
taking the
just
land speeder?
go in.
You taking
Can
the-
we roll up
Ooh.
in our land?
I
could-
don't
you
think
could-
that's a good idea.
You could drive to the outskirts and then walk the rest of the way if you wanted to do that.
I mean, it's gonna look weird if 4 stormtroopers are walking out of our base. So, like, if anything, we should take them and then change when we get closer. If we're not
Oh,
gonna,
yeah. That's a
Because-
good point.
4 stormtroopers exiting our ship, a little strange.
Very strange.
We
yeah.
we checked out that ship. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. How are you?
Why you walk towards the ship? That's the issue. I just think we should take the uniforms
Yeah.
if we're not going in a vehicle. Just take them and then change when we get closer.
I sigh and start getting undressed.
No, no.
No what?
No, what?
I'm not getting changed out in the middle of nowhere, no.
One stormtrooper is not bad.
We'll make a
We'll turn around.
wall. We'll make a wall so no one sees. We'll go into an alley. We'll make a wall around
Absolutely
you.
not!
Our backs will be to you.
Absolutely not! I'm gonna scour the ship for like a cloak or something, because I am not changing.
One
Yeah.
stormtrooper is not a.
I'm sure you could
That-
find a
that's
cloak.
like-
yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you
Sure.
can find an old cloak.
Oh,
or an
a
old
wall,
blanket.
a wall
You
for
know, you could use
Raven. I
you could
thought you
use a
meant a wall for
blanket.
me.
I'm gonna look like one of those Palpatine's Sith Lords
Yeah,
where
yeah,
the fuck just like
there you go.
But it's all lumpy because it's armor.
I'm just lumping, yeah.
It's super huge, wearing it over the armor. Yeah. So yeah, you guys
yeah,
make it.
absolutely not. She is not changing outside. No.
This is not the way.
Mandalorian,
This is
hello?
not the way.
This is not the way.
This is not the way. Not happening.
All right, you guys are.
And I'm not taking a conflict point for that because I haven't changed. So
Okay. You make your way,
got my way.
In the land speeder. It seems like you've got a mysteriously cloaked friend with you.
Yep.
In the back.
Are we taking land speeder? Because if we have to escape in swoops, then
It's a pretty far drive all the way across the town to get to the prison. So if you're going to be
We'll find,
walking,
like,
you're
a
going to be
place for it
exhausted
to-
before
I'm
you
not
get
gonna-
there.
I'm not gonna hook
Yeah.
it all that way.
It's
yeah, we'll
basically
find
if you
those-
look at that,
I'm not-
if you
I'm
look at
not
that
gonna
image
schlep out
on
to
roll
this
20,
jail.
if you look at on the image,
Yeah.
imagine the spaceport is on the right side of the city and the prison is on the left. Like you have to basically travel
You're
from
right,
one
you're
end of
right.
the bridge to the other. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So you guys make your way. I would assume that you guys are gonna find a place before the prison to kind of park the land speeder, get yourself ready. I would say it wouldn't be a very difficult thing to find a place to kind of dive into. There's some abandoned areas that you guys have no problem finding to get yourselves changed and ready to go as you're heading towards the prison. You guys begin to walk towards the prison, make your way back to the main, where the main door is. And you can see that it is heavily fortified, and there are, it looks like, probably like 4 stormtroopers kind of standing guard outside of a main gate. It seems to have a soft kind of protocol kind of entryway area where it kind of just funnels into one thing. It doesn't look like the door is like a sealed door or anything like that, but it looks like there are some guards on the outside that seem to be just standing somewhat at ease. They just seem to mill about watching other vehicles and things pass out in front of the prison entrance.
Well, I guess we, as orderly as possible, we, walk, double file.
with purpose, like we're meant to be here.
Sure.
holding my weapon
Yeah.
the right way, like you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys have seen them. Dran, you would know exactly how they march. So you keep it
as they march over my people.
God.
Single tear under the helmet.
Single tear. But yeah, one of them looks to you, kind of gives a stormtrooper nod. You can see it nod, and you guys walk right past the guards into the.
This is the stormtrooper now.
Yeah, like this.
Wobbling.
They just wobble back and
They
forth.
bobble.
And you guys make your way up a few steps, and it seems to have an automatic door that seems to go. And you guys walk your way inside. There is a large circular-shaped chamber with a circular-shaped main desk. Computers seem to be wrapping around this desk and everywhere. Seems to be mechanical systems kind of all around the circular inlays of the walls. And you can see to the right and to the left there are two, and you guys know this from your schematics, there are two elevators to the right and to the left. You can see these guys sitting behind the circular desk with computers that seem to be wearing these overly huge, glossy black helmets that extend over the back, and they have nothing covering their face. Yeah. But they're just sitting there, and they look like they're typing some things on computers. They look up, see stormtroopers walking in, and just seem to look back down and go back to their work. It doesn't seem like they're even remotely worried about stormtroopers walking in the front door.
So this is kind of like an entryway. Can we tell what the machines that they're working on, what do they do?
Is there
Are these like,
do we have perception?
are these like
skill?
door controls? Are they
I think we got
surveillance
perception.
controls?
Go ahead and make a perception check. I think there is perception on your character sheet.
There is.
Go ahead and make a perception.
All right.
Now, technically, you're on the opposite side of what they're working on. Like you can, like, it's hard to see. So I'm gonna make this a hard check. It's gonna be 3 purple dice.
Skill page. Perception.
Okay.
Okay. You do get to see some things that they're working on. It looks like mainly surveillance. It looks like they do have many cameras set up through the halls of this place. And you catch a glimpse. The 2 threat is going to be that one of them looks up to you as you get a little bit too close to the desk. Looks up at you. What's the problem? Carry on, trooper.
Okay, just starting my shift. I want to see if there's any problem areas we need to watch out for on the shift.
None today.
Thanks very much. Hey, next time at the cantina, drinks on me.
He just gives you a strange look. as you continue.
Mondays, right?
Mondays, right? Oh.
Can I take a conflict point?
Yeah, you may. You may take a conflict point.
Mondays.
He just watches you for an extended period of time. I'm gonna have Yeska I'm gonna have you take 2 strain for that interesting for those 2 threat.
That's fair. 2 strain for
2
small
strain
talk.
for awkward small talk. And you kind of move on by. He seems to stare at you a little bit as you walk away, but then continues to look back down and type and look on doing his work and going through what looks to be
You
like
guys.
file folders of other prisoners and things of that nature. What are you guys doing?
Elevator.
Elevator?
Point the elevator. Or, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, to the lift.
You get to the elevator. The elevator opens as you approach, and it looks like 2 stormtroopers are standing on the other side. And they immediately kind of walk out past you guys. And there's a little mechanical droid that has small legs, and it seems to just like waddle a little bit. It's only about 2 or 3 foot high off the ground. It seems just waddle past behind the stormtroopers and just waddle past you.
Are stormtroopers always supposed to have one of those droids with them? Is that like going to be a problem?
Is it like the mouse droid?
Drian, you would know that the Empire does use droids, but they're usually for they don't use any combat droids because of the droid armies of the past.
Yeah, that whole thing.
That whole thing, they don't want any more combat droids. So most of their droids are
Okay.
repurposed to do something
No,
else. Your assumption is this type of droid that just walked by is some kind of just maintenance or cleaning droid.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Elevator it is.
All right, you
Keep an eye out
guys.
for surveillance droids as well.
Yeah.
There might be some in the hallways.
If you're keeping an eye out for surveillance as well, you do notice that there are cameras inside the elevator. There's a system of cameras up in the corner that seem to be recording the inner parts of the elevator as you guys get in and the door closes. It seems you have like a control panel that allows you to navigate.
I gesture towards 6 a little bit. I don't know if that's our first.
I think that should
6
be,
was Gren, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's who we should go after first.
I press 6.
Okay. Press the 6th floor. The elevator starts to descend very rapidly, actually. It seems to move quickly. It comes to an end at the 4th floor. It opens. And in front of you is a stormtrooper that has a leather shoulder portion, and 2 other stormtroopers. And they look towards you all, and they're going down.
Am I supposed to salute or anything? Do I know?
Most stormtroopers don't
think so.
salute
Okay.
others, and not like it's not that big of a disparity.
Cool. There's no
Yeah.
protocol. There's no protocol to worry about.
You could tell, you would know that this is probably a sergeant, so it probably does have a little bit of rank over the rest, but they don't like walk around saluting each other, as you know, for indication. But
I definitely just give him space.
you guys
Yeah.
move out of the way, and they come in and they stand there,
Mhm.
and he looks towards you, Raven, because you're the one standing next to the button.
Mm.
8th, please.
I hit it.
Okay, he hit it. It glows on the 8th floor, and you guys drop down the other 2 floors, and the door opens, and they're standing there, the 3 stormtroopers with you, and you guys just mosey on out.
Excuse me.
You must say. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Duran, based on your character's flaw and being in this close proximity, I would like you to go ahead and make a vigilance, or is this a resilience check? Which do you think would be better for this? I don't know if resilience is more physical.
Resilience is brawn. Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems more physical.
I think this would be more of a
Probably-
mental, keeping your...
Is it discipline or is it?
Yeah, let's do discipline. I like that. Let's go
Discipline. That
Oh,
that
we lost Jim again.
because I was gonna say Raven
Oh, no.
is definitely watching the doctor very closely
my-
after that discussion of discipline
Yeah.
and peace.
What's my difficulty on this, Michael?
I'm gonna say, because this is like strictly your thing, let's go with 3 purple. I mean, you got a stormtrooper sergeant standing right next to you.
Yeah, that'd be a good kill. That'd be a good kill to scratch
Must
on
not
my gun.
shoot.
Discipline.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
you stay
Oh,
relaxed.
Nelly.
Cool under
I'm
pressure.
one with the
Attaboy.
universe.
There you
I'm
go.
one with the universe.
You're one with the universe. Exactly.
boy.
I'm one with the
Oh.
force, and the force is with me. You know.
Force is
Yeah, that's it, that's
Always the
it.
force, the force is me. Always the force.
So you guys exit, the door closes behind you, and you can tell that the elevator has descended down towards the 8th floor. You guys are now on the 6th floor. It seems as if you're looking back and forth, and you'll notice that the upstairs was definitely, you could tell it was all Empire, you know, but now that you're getting down towards the 6th floor, it looks like traces of Empire here and there with their computer systems, but a lot of the inner kind of technology, or not necessarily technology, but architecture, looks more Neimoidian in nature.
Oh.
So it's kind of like they just came and kind of upgraded a little bit down here, but didn't go too overboard. And it's
Interesting that those guys were going to the 8th.
it's strange lighting too here. Like, it's very dim light. Kind of like every third bulb, a light bulb in the digital lights that are set up on the ceiling seems to be like, there's only like one every third light is on. And it leads down this main hall.
Are there any signs saying like
Numbers.
0 to 6:30 is this way. 6:40 to 6:50 is that way.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. To your right, it seems like that's the direction. Kind of like when you go into a hotel and you see
Hotel,
those,
yeah.
Numbers this way.
numbers this way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It does have signage that way, and it leads you to the right to go towards 618. And you make your way down the main hall a little bit, and all of a sudden, a squad of 3 stormtroopers comes out from one of the tendril hallways that you can see is the actual hallway that you need to go down to get to cell 618. They move, and they seem to see you, just give you a nod, and then seem to walk by you in the main hall. And as you're looking down the hall where 618 is down, even numbers, would that be on the right or the left? I think even numbers are on the right.
Right.
so it would be on the right side down the hall a little bit. You don't see any other stormtroopers on this hall right now, but you can see that squad is kind of just making their way and moving around. What would you like to do?
Find 618.
You gotta find 618, yeah.
So you make your way.
Yeska will stay a bit back
Mhm.
and recommend that somebody else go a bit further to kind of guard what we're doing in the middle at 618.
I gesture
Sure,
for
I will.
Tizo to go because I'm going to assist the doctor with hacking the system.
I will head down like Yeska recommended.
Okay.
Keep watch.
Head down. It eventually, from what you can see, Tizo, it looks like the hallway just ends at the end of these tendrils.
Okay.
But you do notice as you get closer, there are surveillance cameras in the top corner that seem to point down the hallway from this side. And behind you, Yeska, at each part where these tendrils go out, there are surveillance cameras going in the opposite direction so that no part of the hallway will be unseen.
So definitely they're going to be seen as they're hacking.
Yeah.
Or can I stand in such a way, it's like if they're here, can I be like standing here so the camera sees me like standing guard, and they're like fiddling around with the lock?
It just seems like a
And
stormtrooper face.
No,
the,
it's just
the
like
cameras are
it's like
really
if it's
high
standing
up.
in the halls, like I'm standing just kind of, to the side of the door, so that you are partially obscured, and it just looks like you're checking the lock.
You guys could if you were closer to the person that was doing it, I believe. Because the way the cameras are positioned, they're high up. So if you're closer to the camera, it's just going to be over your head towards them. But if you were down the hall near him, one person could be on one side, one person could be on the other, and it would obscure that process. You're not sure 100% how well, but it would be better than standing at the ends of the halls.
I would like to try that.
Okay. So
Michael, this camera that's by me, is it pointing at them? So can this one, like, it's pointing towards them too?
yes, it's you
Well,
got basically imagine a
It doesn't
hallway.
make any sense to have a camera pointing both ways.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't seem as if one camera on one side can't get details of everything on the opposite side of the hallway. So they have
Fair enough.
one
Yeah.
camera on one end to get the finer details over here. They can both kind of see the whole hallway, but one camera's only going to see silhouettes farther away. They want to be able to see everything pretty well, what's going on inside the prison.
Another question is these look like they can be moved, like rotated? Do they have any like rotation to them?
At first glance, it doesn't appear so. It appears it's kind of like
It's like one of those
if you
Walmart
imagine
orbs.
if you imagine the
That
ones
would've been cool.
in episode 4, they look like 8 camera lenses on a big just square box.
Gotcha.
That's what it
Okay.
looks like.
Well, then I will also, if I see Yeska do that, I will also try and do that too.
Okay, so you're
Block.
gonna make your way back down towards them a little bit and just kind of block down. So all 4 of you are kind of standing within, 6 and 8 feet of each other. They're in the front of room 618, cell 618. There is a computer system there, a computerized lock, Dran, as you approach.
Raven, I'm not good at hacking. Like, I don't have any computer science degrees here, but we'll see what happens.
I'll aid you as best I can.
I'm gonna
Can
use
we-
a light side point. What's it?
All right.
Can we
Gonna
see
break-
inside this door first before
Okay.
doing this?
Um,
Because if there's
Oh,
no
yeah,
one
like-
in here,
there
Make
is
sure that it
on the
actually is.
computer system that's in front. There's actually a button that allows
Yeah.
you. You can press like the digital screen and you can see inside the block. There's no like
It's like the
windows.
equivalent
should-
of
yeah.
like pulling the slide and checking the prisoner. and
yeah,
pulling
yeah,
the
yeah.
slide
It's-
back.
right,
It's like
right.
Okay,
the
yeah. So we
digital
should do
version
our
of
due
that.
diligence, make sure that
Yeah, you can see sitting on looks to be some sort of bed type platform in the far side of the room is a Nymoidian female wearing what looks to be standard prison garb.
female. Because we heard Gren was Santa's son. Is that?
You were looking for Zam Scorpio, right? Zam?
no.
No, we're on the
Ran.
6th floor.
We're on the 6th floor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gren.
'cause Sam
Oh,
Scorpio,
no,
we heard
oh,
was she
yeah.
was in the second or
Gren,
third.
Gren, yeah, it'd be a
Yeah.
male Nymoidian wearing the
Because
same
Zam
garb.
is on
yeah.
like 2nd or 3rd floor.
Yeah, Zam was on second or third. Yeah, that's right. That was my.
There's a gender ambiguous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
alien
Gender.
in there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's definitely you can
Okay.
definitely see it's Nymoidian in there.
Melnomodian at least. And is there any bio info on like the basic access before we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to hack, or that like?
Like, what do you mean by bio info?
Well, like
just-
this
like
computer system, like just-
prisoner info.
Yeah, prisoner. Yeah, it does give a prisoner number there.
We fed him 2 hours ago. His name's Gren. He's in here for reckless homicide. You know.
It's 200-618. They usually keep in their prisoner number. They keep their cell number as well. Empire's not really smart. They do simple numbers. You don't see anything about they just ate. You don't see any like vitals, like their blood pressure is blah 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 blah, or anything like that. But there is general information brought in. It does say brought in by, well actually, yeah, brought in by. It would still say Suljo Warde on the arrest. It would say an arrest date, which is kind of about that, end of the Clone Wars era. That the date shows up on the records.
Okay, that's a good point toward it. Okay, and there's
anyone,
no simple
anyone
unlock door
listening
button.
who designs prisons, this is the prison of the future that has all the information for the inmate.
Yep.
Like
Right on the screen.
at their door.
Yep.
Question,
attention.
because I'm a little confused. Is this person like force sensitive at all?
We don't know. We have no clue.
Jedi?
All we know is that they were associated with the separatists, and that they may have been against the Republic.
Okay.
And Suljo Warde arrested them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we don't know anything about their skills or anything. Okay, gotcha.
they could be our enemy. They could be like,
This was just our only
like Dran is assuming that they're a
Information.
bad person. Like,
Yeah.
This was a bad plan.
we just want a
Okay.
holocron out of this. Yeah.
All right, all
But
right, all right.
now that you're in
This-
here, they
this
all
is our
look at you,
pastoral
Raven,
holocron.
and say, "This was a bad plan."
I only said that from the beginning. I just tried to make things easier
Told us
for
so.
us.
You told us so.
I did tell you so. I tell you so
Why
very
didn't
often.
you tell us more?
Ugh. Shut up! You're distracting the doctor.
Oh, sorry.
All right, and just Michael, there's no easy button on this, right? We do have to hack. We suspect it's not like, oh, open door.
There's no
green
open door.
Unfortunately, these are all like password protected, and you were kicked out of the computer systems before you could get any like password information on the individual cells.
Yep.
So you're going to have to hack it, unfortunately. to
All
unlock
right.
this door.
I'm hacking to the gate. Let's see how this works.
Okay, this is going to
Computers.
actually be, yeah, it's going to be computers. Let me double check one thing. Yeah, hard computer check, so it's 3 purple. So yeah, you succeed.
Nice.
You can go ahead and
I know.
you
I
can-
look down at
hey,
my stormtrooper gloves, like, really?
What did I do?
Go ahead and you can narrate it. MG, go ahead and narrate it.
Sure, I'll I'm gonna go into the system and I'm gonna like move some bits around to make it seem like this is a totally appropriate check where we're doing some psychology on the prisoner and some data extraction and da-da-da. Like, I'm leaving behind a trail that shows that this is legit. We've got him for a little while. It's
Legit
okay.
work. Nice. Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. This is all planned. The system had it scheduled, you know.
Okay. And the door opens.
Don't come here and ask any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door hydraulics release and opens up. The door's open.
I step in.
The Neimoidian seems to look up just a bit, relaxing, just sitting there, it seems. What
Is
now?
he tied up at all?
No. No bindings or anything. Just sitting there in prison. This place is pretty secure. There's unless they have a way of opening that door, they have no way of getting out of here. Looks towards you, is like, what now?
How good's your aim?
Wait, excuse me?
It's time to get out of here. And I toss him my
Yeah.
disruptor pistol.
We have extra guns from the uniforms too.
You're like, goes in his hands, and he's looking at all of you dressed like stormtroopers. What are you doing? What is this? And he starts. It looks like he's starting to raise the disruptor pistol towards you guys.
Santa sent us.
What? Mom?
Yeah, Santa open.
How do you know my mother?
She wants to find some answers to why you're here.
We don't really have time to talk. Are you a good shot or no?
I've been in here a long time.
That's not what
Then
I'm
just
asking.
don't shoot us.
I think I have an idea how this thing works.
Great.
Great.
My stormtrooper rifle.
We haven't been alerted to yet. Maybe we should have him put on one of the other uniforms.
Oh. Do we have
Just
them?
until I mean, Raven said she brought him, right? At least one of them.
Yes, Yeska brought one.
Yeah. So we haven't been found out yet. Might as well take advantage of this stuff.
Make it quick.
He looks at you. Right. And I guess Yeska gets the armor out of the bag quickly, and he starts to kind of put his legs into the suit of armor and get strapped up. You're helping him out. Yeah, you guys are helping out.
I'm holding the gun. I'll hold the gun while he's doing this.
Yeah,
'cause-
shoots himself in the leg. You know. Where are
Do
you
we
guys
want a
all
little less
positioned within the
crazy
room?
for him to try it?
You don't say
Oh
anything.
shoot!
Where are you guys
I'm still
positioned
outside.
in the rooms?
Cameras.
What's that?
Oh, right.
You're outside?
We might have cameras.
Okay, you're
Are
standing
there
outside.
cameras in the room?
I'm standing outside where I was originally.
You do see the 3 stormtroopers walk by the main hallway. One of them seems to glance down towards you, Tizo, as you're standing in the hallway, and the rest are, and then you just nod.
Yep.
Is that what you? Yeah.
Just gonna stand still.
Nods right
Act
back,
like I'm supposed to be here.
and they just continue down the main hallway and walk by.
Fine, officer.
Shit your pants a little bit.
Yikes.
And after a few moments, it looks as if Gren is taking the stormtrooper helmet, plops it on his head. It's a little too loose for him. It's like wobbling a little bit back and forth, but okay.
Nice
okay.
problem to have.
Okay. Okay. What now? What?
Now you work with us. You follow us. You don't say anything. You don't do anything we don't tell you to do.
Right. Sure.
You stay in the middle of where we walk.
We have a lot of questions for you when we have a moment.
Sure.
Right now we have more people to get.
Wait, you. My mom needed more people out of here?
No more questions. Time to go.
Okay, fine. He points to the gun that Raven's holding. Do you still want me to hold that?
Are you going to be responsible with it?
I'll try my best.
Don't shoot me in the back, and I want this back when this is done.
Sure. And you hand him back the... Is it the disruptor pistol that you gave him? Oh. Oh, you gave him the big pistol. Okay. He's holding on to the disruptor pistol. And Tizo seems to be kind of looking back and forth outside in the hallway as you guys are getting gathered up. What is it?
I
that
vote
you-
floor 7 next. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we go down first. Definitely
Yep.
go down first, and then go
Deeper?
back up.
Yeah. Floor 7's a Sadger Radion. Potentially a good ally to have.
Okay.
And if
So
we're
you-
still not caught, we can have them put on a uniform also. Keep up this ruse as long as possible.
Okay. So you guys make your way towards the elevator. I would like...
We
each of
close the
you-
door.
Close
Yeah,
the
yeah.
door?
Oh, yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
Get rid of the
Definitely close the door.
evidence
Yeah.
of the...
Leave no
And
And I'll
trace.
I'm gonna gesture at the
Get the
door
blank-
and stay in there, asshole. You know?
right. Gotcha.
Did he have blankets or pillows?
It seemed like it was like a padded bench. It doesn't seem like they provide their prisoners very much in accommodations. here.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Okay.
no escape from Alcatraz dummy.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
made.
exactly.
But I punch the door and I'm like, ugh.
Okay. What I'd like you guys to do is I want you to all make a... Is there deception on this? Do you guys have a skill
Cool.
called
And
deception?
There is deception. There's
There is a
deception.
deception.
I
Yep.
would like all of you to make deception checks.
no.
This is going to be an average difficulty, and I'm going to add 1 setback die because now, all of a sudden, there is another stormtrooper in your group that this group did not
Okay.
see before.
So that's what level of purple?
It's
Two?
going to be
Two?
2. It's 2 purple,
2 purple.
and it's going to be a setback die in addition to those 2 purple.
So a
You
black
could
and
argue
2
this could be
purple.
cool instead of deception. This could be like, it's fine. Those are not
Yeah.
Play
If
it
you
cool.
if you have a higher cool,
I'd rather-
I will allow
I would
you to
rather
roll
be
cool.
I would
If you guys
much
want to
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to stay
cool.
Thank you, humble and merciful DM.
You got it.
Yes.
Because you
Cool,
make,
cool, cool, cool,
you
cool,
make a
cool,
very
cool,
good
cool,
point.
cool.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well.
Oh, God, wait.
There's a triumph!
We got a
Oh.
triumph in there.
We have what a mix. What a emotional
Yeah.
What a mix!
This is-
Oh my
yeah.
god! Can stuff like
Oh,
cancel each
boy.
other out?
Oh,
Like, can
boy.
the successes cancel mine out?
Here's
Oh.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna see how the role
Like for
plays
like a
out.
group roll, it's like my success cancels out somebody else's.
Here's
Uh,
what
failure.
Here's what I'm gonna allow. Duran was successful in keeping his cool, but there's
But hugely threatened.
huge threat in the process. So I've got to determine what that threat is going to be. Raven was unsuccessful in keeping her cool. I guess you guys are you guys are startled
Way to go,
because
Raven.
as you come around the corner to go to the elevator, that group that you saw walk by Atizo, they must not have went very far. They must have only been going a couple doors down or something, and they're on their way back. And you guys almost bump into them as they're coming back. And at the same time, you notice there's another squad of 3 that are coming down the hallway, only within like medium range from you guys, like a room away. So it's kind of like you guys are here at the end of the hallway. There's this group right here, and then there's another group of 3 just a little bit coming back towards you. So you're kind of startled a little bit by this sudden emergence of these 2 squads as they come by. So the 3 threat, let's see what we can do with 3 threat. That's in combat. That wouldn't make sense for this. It said the character falls prone.
Trips.
You know.
Oh man, we don't have any threat symbols on like.
Oh, so that's just for combat. I thought you were saying that's what was happening.
No. That's just for combat.
Because like my mind was just scrambling. I was like, okay, well she's
So-
prone. Now what?
Yeska, you have
Story told in the dice for sure.
Okay, Tizo, I'm gonna first ask you this because your decision here might affect what happens. That triumph is a big winner here in this situation. How do you think you would like to spend that triumph? As your group seems to be a little bit startled by these stormtroopers, and one of the stormtroopers kind of tilts his head to the side just a little bit as he's noticing more members of your party. And this group has already seen you a couple of times, and they're looking towards you.
If it looks like if I turn around and see that some of the people are like looking uneven, I will just turn around and say, "New recruits, step it up! Come on! There's no time to dally here. We have more rounds to make."
I smack Gren's shoulder. I'm like, come on, come on.
And we come to attention. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Very good. Very good. I like that. That is well done. Okay. Okay. So you're able to do that. Dran, in doing so, when you smack the armor on Gren, a piece of the shoulder falls off of the armor and clanks to the floor around all of your feet.
Sure.
And Gren just kind of looks over at you and then tries to look down a little bit, and the helmet kind of starts to wobble a little bit on his head. And you reach up and you grab the helmet. And it looks like the stormtroopers look at you guys for just another moment and then slowly walk by.
I will walk over and like start talking with this the person that, of course, armor fell off. Start trying to make it look like I'm giving them, like a stern talking to about regulation armor.
Yeah.
All right.
Soldier!
And as you're doing that, one of the other stormtroopers
Like a
actually
good
reaches
DI.
down and picks up the corner of the armor and hands it to you, Tizo, and says, "You better teach him how to properly suit up too while you're at it."
I think, yes, these recruits are not up to par yet. Thank you. And I'm gonna take the armor piece back.
He just nods. He just nods and carry on, and walks back down the hallway. The other group kind of passes you guys the other way and moves down towards the farther side of the main hall. So it looks like there's two squads now, just kind of patrolling and going into double checking different information on some of the computer systems outside different cells and things like that. Tran's getting ready to put a gun up to the back of their heads.
Yeah.
And I'll put a hand on his forearm, and just kind of like whisper over the comms, "Not yet, not yet."
Okay.
Patience.
So you guys are heading to the
We elevator. Put on this armor that fell off. Yes.
Yep. You re-put it on.
Oh God.
I get it set. Yeah, a couple tense moments there. You guys do make your way to the elevator. You get you guys set. What floor did you guys want to go to next?
Go to 7?
To 7?
Yeah.
In search
we want to check out
Sadra.
Sadra Radion.
Sadra Radion. Okay. So you guys make your way down to floor 7. Doors open. And it's another similar hallway layout. It looks like most of the floors are laid out the same, except the main hallway doesn't seem to go as far, and it seems like there's less hallways, so it seems like it gets smaller as it continues down the floors. So level 7 looks even more Neimoidian and even less Imperial than the floor above it. And as you come out, it looks older. It looks like, it's kind of like when you go into an older building and they have renovated some things and made some things look, some things are like makeshift. Still old HVAC systems in here, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of gives you that vibe.
Radiators.
Yep. So you guys headed to
We're looking for
room
724.
Is there any like floor guard console that would list the inmates on this level?
There is computer consoles in the main hall.
Doctor, do you think you want to check and see if you can find where our next stormtrooper is at? And I give the stormtrooper equivalent of a wink.
We know that we're looking for 724 is where we believe that our current target is. 724.
That's a even number, so it should be on the right side.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Even number,
Alright.
so it should be on the right side. You guys make your way to the tendril where you can see that the numbers are leading you, and you walk down to 724. The problem with this situation is at the end of the hallway, it looks like there are 3 stormtroopers having a conversation about 3 cells down. They're standing out in front of a closed door, and it looks like they're engaged in a conversation.
Do we see them before turning down the hallway?
Oh yeah, could we just like go the other way?
Yeah, as you guys were making your way towards the hallway, yeah, you could have made your way out if you wanted to, and not go down that hall, if that's what you choose.
Yes, I would have tried to do that. Like if there's those down there, we would have went somewhere else first.
Sure.
Because we
Have a
could go to the
conversation.
second or third and get Zam.
Well, I think we should definitely
Or-
get this person first, but we just need to decide how we're dealing with these stormtroopers.
Yeah, like are we there to replace their shift, and how are we gonna do that, or do we tell them it's emergency, or?
I think we can let them know that there is an emergency and that they are needed on floor 8 right away. The sergeant requested extra troops.
Ooh, yeah. But did we see him again on 6, or is that a different group?
No, we saw him in the lift
That's right,
with
that's
the
right,
leather
that's right.
pauldron.
Down.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he
you're
went
right.
to
down
8.
to 8.
That's right. So it checks out.
This is a good idea, but outside of this, I have a question.
Okay.
Do I feel like if we were to like approach these locks on these prisoner doors, if we were to just force it with like a lightsaber or something and just destroy the fuck out of it, would everything be locked immediately, or would it
Ooh, yeah.
do a safety measure and open?
Because that's always something you see in Star Wars is that
Right.
Oh,
Because
close this door, shoot it. Open this door, shoot it.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
lightsabers go through anything.
Lightsabers would
but-
go
Yeah, so
through
that's what I
this
was
door.
thinking.
Like you could carve a hole in the
Yeah.
door, and it wouldn't.
if you had time.
Yeah.
That's a last resort kind of an issue.
yeah, but
though.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like we were to run and hit each like lock with the lightsaber, if it would like jam everything, or if it would do emergency measures.
override
I'm not
and open.
override. Yeah.
You're not 100% certain. You don't know.
Okay. So it's like a 50-50 chance,
be.
basically, at this point.
Because
When-
you've,
when I
seen,
think-
you've seen moments where when alarms go off in either residential areas or things like that, the doors just force
Mhm.
shut and it just
Yeah.
locks everything down. But then other
Yeah.
safety features allow everything to open so that people can get out if there's ever like
Yeah.
some kind of, you don't want to lock everybody into
Like
a building
fire.
that's on fire, you know.
It really
or something.
depends
Yeah.
on what the story requires.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Also,
Okay.
but maybe we free someone who knows, or maybe we free enough people who can storm a control room. You know.
Well, that's what. When we exit the elevator, is there like a control room for each floor
Yeah.
when we exit?
When you exit the elevator, a little bit to your left, there's a smaller circular chamber that opens up with computers and stuff, like the one you saw upstairs.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
It's like a smaller, like computer chamber, or with people manning it. There's other computer systems that are inlaid
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
the walls down the hallway that you could just quickly
Mm.
access stuff. But yeah, there's somebody. Pretty much, you got one or
We
two
could-
people working the main desks at every one of those levels.
We could go to the main, where the desk was, and just open all the cells on this floor. Could be the start of
That
the.
is one way to do it. This
That's
floor is
kind of
gonna
what I
have
was.
some
That's kind of what Christy was thinking, is doing a
high value
mass
targets.
exit.
Yeah.
I think that is a good plan B option in case we
Alright.
need to cause chaos. I think
Yep.
we need to try to be as low key as possible for plan A. And if plan A doesn't work, someone
Okay.
goes, shoots those guards, and opens up everything.
Well, Yeska, do you want to try and go talk to these 3 to see if you can get them to go to floor 8? And if it doesn't work, me and Dran will make our way to the control center.
Excellent. Yes.
Thank you for including me in your destruction plan.
God damn it.
Well, Trent, I need you to be able to. You're better with computers than I am. We're just there to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, you might want to get to kill somebody that you might want.
So
And Gren, do nothing. So I just kind of point at him. It's like,
So you want me to just stand
You
here?
stay here and don't get shot.
stand
Stay
here
with
next to
us.
Raven
Stay with us,
and
yeah.
don't get
Stick-
shot.
Stand next to
Stick
Raven.
close to me.
Okay.
If
I will.
Do whatever
if,
she says.
if we
Yes,
trigger the
right.
doors, though, everyone take off your helmets so they know we're not stormtroopers, or we're just gonna get attacked by the people we're letting free.
Yes.
Oh,
That is.
good
That's a
idea.
really
Very
good
good
point.
point.
Yeah.
I hate you
All right.
all. I hate you. I'm just gonna murder all of you right now.
Can you imagine like
God.
hundreds of prisoners just gang tackling you guys in the hallway, beating you with your helmets and stuff?
Um,
Raven, maybe if
do
you're
I have like a
with us
space
without our helmet on,
Sharpie that I
you'll be
can... Do I have like a space Sharpie that I can like toss to
Space
Raven so she can like mark?
We have lightsabers. She could put like a cool symbol on her helmet.
I think as long as she's with one of us without the helmet on, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
The minute you bust out a lightsaber with all these cameras around,
Yeah,
some-
things escalate to like another level.
Someone's
Yeah.
probably going to notice.
All right. So
There's
yeah,
like escaping
Jessica-
from prison level, and then there are Jedi in the universe level.
Yeah.
right.
Shut down all garbage masters on the detention level. So Yeska and Tizo go up to this. Is it a group of 3 guards? You said.
Yep, group of 3, stormtroopers.
All right. I go up to them. Very purposeful.
Mhm.
The sergeant said that there is an emergency on floor 8. That we're here to replace you. He needs you there right away.
We haven't heard anything about an emergency.
Do you want to go and tell the sergeant that? Of course.
I
there
wanna
hasn't
look
been an
nervous.
Emergency.
You look nervous? Okay.
Well, like
course
I'm like,
they
oh my
haven't
god, the
announced it.
sergeant's freaking out.
Okay.
Of course, they haven't announced an emergency. We don't want a riot to start happening. The sergeant just said, get there quickly.
Good, good. Hey, go ahead and make a deception check with 2 blue boosts because of what you just said and what Dran is doing to help you. Okay. This is
All
going to
right,
be
so what's my-
average difficulty. The 2 purple
Okay.
dice.
2 places. And you said deception.
Deception. Yeah, you're definitely deceiving. You're telling someone to go somewhere that.
Oh,
There's a lot of advantage.
So much advantage. There's
Here
so
we
much
go.
advantage. I don't.
It's like
Uh,
they don't buy it, but they like him.
One of the stormtroopers, one of the 3, looks
Mondays,
at
right?
one of them looks at it. One of them looks at the other and is like,
Oh.
"Will you go check on this?" And it seems like he's telling one of the stormtroopers to go check and call in to the 8th floor to see if there's anything going on. So the one stormtrooper starts to walk away from you guys. What are you using those advantage on?
I don't know.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Christy,
He had
thank
a
you for
beat in his
looking.
voice.
Christy, I
Let's
think
have
Plan
them help
B
us.
is
Let's
starting
have
to
them
look
help
very
us.
good to Yeska / Jim right now.
Let's have them
Uh,
help us. They can help us open the cell.
I want to be in position behind this guy.
Okay.
So it's a group of 3. He sends
Well,
the other 2
he sent
off
one.
to go look.
He sent
He
one.
sends 1.
Yep. So
All
now
right.
there's 2.
I want to kind of position myself in case I need to jump them.
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
And since I'm a little bit, I'm guessing that since I'm 6'3", 1.92 meters, that I'm just a little bit taller.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of activate my comm
Okay.
and say to my group, prepare for Plan B.
I'm watching Tizo. I'm watching
Yeah,
Tizo.
I'm walking behind this guy as this other stormtrooper that's walking away.
The
So,
one
like,
that's
I'm
walking
imagining
away.
they're-
Okay, the one that's walking away. You
They're
can
like
hear him on
standing
the
right here in front
comm.
of me.
Oh,
You
he's
can-
already calling.
He's calling on a comm, and he's like, "Yeah, we have a squad here reporting that there's aid needed on floor 8. Some kind of disturbance. It's kind of suspicious. We haven't heard anything over the comms. Can you copy?" As they're walking down, and Raven, you're starting to hear this one talk as it's getting closer to you, and there's like you can hear like crackling of the comms, and you hear, "What squad reported a disturbance on floor 8? We have no recollection of any disturbance on floor 8 at this point. We are transferring one prisoner from 803 up for some kind of additional protocols. What is going on?" And then you hear, "I don't know. We're really, I don't know. We're not really sure what's happening right now." And it's continuing to walk. Like it sound like a confused conversation. They're trying to figure out what's going on. What do you do?
Let me just check something real quick.
Should I attack him? Eric asking.
No, hang on.
We could
Okay.
pretend that they're not taking it seriously. If we go to the control room, we attack the control room.
True, we could do that. Me and Dran walk away.
Yeah,
Yep, we're-
while I'm watching them walk
Look at
away, I
it.
think I'm going to approach Stormtrooper. That's confused.
Why
Did
don't
I
you,
hear any of that?
Yeah, you're starting to hear it more clearly because he's walking towards you, and then he stops at the end of the hallway, and you hear the. We're sending a squad to check on this other squad that you're talking about. We've sent no communication about any such thing. And then the one guy's like, that
Dran's
sounds
like,
that sounds fine to us. You want us to keep an eye on him? 10-4. We want to keep them. We got them on surveillance right now. We can see your
Oh
hall.
God!
Yeah, we're sending security detail down. Be there in just a moment.
Boys, walk quickly, because I'm going
Yeah.
to need to release some bullets. So
I'm
the
just-
moment you get to the door, let me know.
Yes. Could grab a helmet in each hand
And
and
smacks him
smash
together.
them together.
yes.
I didn't even get to do what I wanted. That's fine. This
Here's-
works.
no, here's-
I was
here-
gonna try and distract him, but
You
it's
can-
fine.
you
You have another person.
Hey, here's what I need everybody to do. I need everybody to roll some initiative for me.
Okay.
And because this is happening so abruptly, everybody's gonna roll vigilance. Okay. As the tension seems to be mounting, the stormtroopers
Can I?
don't
Can
really.
I? With all those advantages, can I say that I roll cool?
Unfortunately, not. No.
great vigilance
Fair enough.
rolls.
Had to ask.
Yeah.
Really,
And gonna
I'm
make
equal on
you-
either one, so Raven doesn't mind if it's cool or vigilance.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to roll it as proper. Michael, I forgot to click combat.
Combat.
vigilance or whatever. So I was a 1
Yeah.
and 2.
Okay. So you had a 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
sir.
Go ahead and roll it again and see if you end up getting the same
Okay.
thing, and if not, we'll change it. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah. So combat vigilance. 0-2.
So you had a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Let me just change one number at a time. That's strange. 1 and 2. Okay, I got that there, and I got to do 2 of these. So I'm gonna go bump, bump, and then.
Oh God!
They're so
Oh.
vigilant.
Jesus.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Constant vigilance.
And then I'm gonna do 1 of these. Let's go here. Oh yeah, this guy's
Or
pretty,
really?
this one's pretty vigilant too.
Oofta.
Jesus.
Okay. So we're gonna do descending. Break ties. Looks like everything's in correct order. Surprisingly enough. Oh, you guys got an extra individual with you.
Oh, true.
Gren.
Yeah,
Alright,
we got a strap.
So I'm gonna roll. There's an additional NPC there that's going to be him. You know, he technically
The
counts as a
Kreehawk
PC.
Ganger.
Ganger. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Ganger? What's a Ganger?
Yeah, and he's going to fight Ganger style.
Oh gosh. Okay, well he earns you guys. I'm gonna say he's a PC for this combat.
Okay.
And so, seeing that Raven had something that she wanted to do, and Yeska had something that they wanted to do, I would think that they would both probably take the first 2 PC slots in this combat, and then we can kind of continue on from there. Basically, what I'm thinking
After
about
the
doing.
Stormtrooper killed us all.
Yeah, let's have them go ahead and do that. I'm gonna play us some combat music here.
Well, there's an NPC first, right?
Oh yes, there is an NPC first. As Yeska's going to reach for these 2 stormtroopers, and that one is down the hallway closer to Raven, it seems like the one stormtrooper that's down there sees this taking place and uses his turn to kind of ready his weapon as a maneuver, but then start to take off towards the hallway where Raven and Gren are, almost like he's going back to the security desk of the floor. And that's what he does during his turn.
Alright, since he is moving towards Raven, I think Raven should take the first PC slot.
Alright, well,
Okay.
I want to distract and talk to him, but that's not happening.
Yeah, it seems like he's now that he's been put on alert, and now I can see like this stormtrooper reaching for the other 2 stormtroopers' heads like this. He got ready and spooked and took off.
What an aggressive negotiation.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna fire on him then.
Okay, he's within short range of you. So I think short range is for you is 1 purple die.
Yep.
And because we're almost at the end of our session, I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade the difficulty.
Alright.
Oh, and that is still a hit.
11, 12, 13, 14 damage.
14 points of damage. You, as this stormtrooper runs by you, you swing around with your gun and just nonchalantly just pull the trigger. It goes right through his armor of his back, and you hear him go, "Ah!" And his gun flies up in the air, and he falls face first, helmet rolling off and rolling down the hallway. You have 2 advantage. He is dead.
Alright. I'm assuming Dran and Tizo are well on their way, like they're down the hall, they've started running.
Yeah, they're down the hall. I
Towards-
think they were coming towards you just as Yeska was reaching out to like knock these 2 skulls together.
Alright. I will move in front of them and kind of position myself so they have to get through me to get to them.
Okay. Sure. And that will end your turn. Bringing us to,
Yes.
I believe, Yeska. He's going to take this turn to knock some heads.
I just want to cartoonishly clap these heads together.
Okay, let's call this. You're going to make an athletics check.
Okay.
And you're
I'll give him the boost.
Oh, and you get a boost from Raven. You're going to contest this against, it would be the brawn of a stormtrooper. Which
Okay,
will
which
be...
is?
At least I find it. Which is going to be against 3 purple dice.
You're strong boys.
They have to be to wear all that armor and carry those heavy blasters.
3 purple, and you said it's an athletics check?
Athletics, yes. I will give you a free boost because these two, you're kind of sneaking up behind them. They weren't really in on the comlink conversation that the other one was having. So I'm going to say you got the jump on them a little bit.
Here we go.
You knock their heads together.
Yeah.
And as they it seems to disorient them a little bit as they seem to teeter back. It doesn't knock them like out or unconscious,
Yeah.
but it disorients them, and they're struggling to hold on to their weapons as one of them kind of kneels up against the wall a little bit. You do have a maneuver left and an advantage to spend.
I'm gonna draw or pull out my my own blaster carbine, of which I forgot to add to my character.
That's fine.
She-
You'll have time to add it in the meantime.
Okay, and send a boost to the next person.
Okay, next person gets a boost, and there's a PC slot. Who would like to go? I'll let you guys choose if you want when you want Gren to go, but it's up to you guys.
I would like to keep running, I guess, with the doctor. But as I'm running back, I'm going to take out my carbine also and just take a shot at one of the people.
One of the
I'm
disoriented
running.
ones?
Yeah.
Okay. You can. Just know that they're technically engaged with Yeska.
Okay.
So it's
That's fine.
going to upgrade your
He's like, I'll hit
difficulty
Yeska.
once.
What is the difficulty then?
It's going to be medium range. So difficulty for medium range is 2 purple dice. And it's upgraded once because Yeska's standing there as well. So you're trying to be steady and not hit him.
Okay, so 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that what you said? Okay.
Well, it's 2
and they have-
purple
they
with
have
1
an
upgrade, so it'd be like it basically is going to be
Oh,
one
one
purple,
upgrade.
It's an
Okay,
upgrade, yeah.
sorry.
Because that throws
Yeah,
the
yeah.
despair in. If you roll a despair, you actually hit Yeska.
Gotcha. They haven't went yet, have they?
They have not.
They haven't acted?
They haven't acted.
Alright, so I get a boost.
Okay.
And I don't really have the ranged thing right now. I don't have the weapon. Cause like, is it just a blaster carbine like Raven used?
Yes. But I think Ravens is
Okay.
upgraded.
Mine is like hella tinkered and gadgeted.
Okay.
Like
So
my
it's
encumbrance, like there's
9
like no encumbrance on
Let me
mine.
here. I'll get.
So it's
I'll get it
9
on the-
damage.
I'll get it off
3
the, I'll
crit.
get it off the
Heavy?
character sheet. It's considered heavy. Yes.
Is it considered heavy?
It's a heavy, medium range, heavy. 9 damage, 3 critical.
Well, there's my heavy.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my
I just don't know what the
god.
damage is.
No skill, but all natural ability.
Wow. Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
The good
Yeah,
thing
he
about
also
being
rolled
an agility
14.
character, you're really
14.
good with ranged weapons too.
You rolled 14 damage. You blast
Boom,
the
headshot.
stormtrooper, and it was already stunned and like teetering back, and you blasted this one as he gets to his feet. You slam him in the center of the chest. Yes, because you're standing there getting your blaster out ready. This stormtrooper goes flying by you and just slams onto the ground with a huge impact. And
I'll give Yeska a thumbs up. And then I'll use my
Lightsaber? You want to use the lightsaber? No. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna keep running towards the office, and I'm actually going to use 2 strain to continue. I'm
Okay,
gonna try
yeah.
and get to the.
Yeah, you run around the
I don't know.
bend. You run around the bend where Raven's standing with Gren, and you can see there's a stormtrooper flat on his face in the middle of the main hallway as you run around, and you can see that there's motion happening from the desk. It seems like the people that are at the desk have been alerted and are starting to move around, and that's when you guys hear the alarms start to just echo through the halls. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode of Star Wars Force and Destiny.
boy. Oh boy, this is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.